but 3 boys, aged 11, 10 and 8 have died.
Father has told Sky News of the awful moment his wife and son died in Loch Lomond on Saturday.
But what if the pool closed nearest to me? Would she be free to swim in the sea?
Would my club close to the loss of a nation?
A community broken for a whole generation.
A lifetime stolen of body and soul.
Laughter faded like a memory, an echo.
Life skills vanished, education unfinished. Our children, a statistic, our lives diminished.
Our pools are for all abilities, ages, from cradle to grave and in between stages, for the health of the nation and life skills schools. Our message is simple.
Pay for our pools.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good morning and welcome back everyone to the Royal Commonwealth Pool. We are here in Edinburgh, Scotland's capital city, for session 7, the last day of action at the 25th anniversary version of the Edinburgh International Swim Meet. My name's Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through the action this morning, and joining me in the commentary box, Robert Taylor. Welcome, Robert.
Good morning, Paul. Nice to be with you this weekend. Both of us have been doing a bit of live stream on the live stream and also on the venue, and I'm with Paul this morning and this afternoon, so nice to be here to join you all, and nice to see everyone joining us for this 7th session. As you can see, that's what we've got coming up. We kick off with 2 heats of 1500 freestyle. That's sort of been the format, Paul, for the morning sessions, kicking off with distance events and a good variety of events throughout the rest of the afternoon, alternating between the female and the male and open. Breaststroke, butterfly, you can see a wide variety of strokes, and it's been pretty exciting stuff. We've had three meet records already, and
yeah, we've had some in the morning as well, so watch out for them.
And I think a British para record.
British para record, yeah. Stephen Clegg did that. He's back on today in the butterfly event. Not sure if he's in this morning or if he's in this afternoon, but he'll be taking part in butterfly. He is in this morning actually, so watch out for him. He's the world record in that event, 100 fly. So watch out for Stephen Clegg a little bit later on, but nice way to get us started this morning. The 1500 freestyle, ease us in gently.
Break us in gently, yeah. And then we've got the delights of James Wilby in the 50 breast. It's been very impressive first couple of days, Paul, so look to see him maybe add the 50 breast to what he's already achieved this week.
Going for the treble, James Wilby in that on those breaststroke events. Tessa Gill will be back in again in the 50 metres butterfly. She was very swift yesterday in the 50 metres freestyle. The Dutch swimmer Tessa Gill from Feyenoord. Duncan Scott will be back in again in the male and open 100 freestyle. He's been doing a number of events.
He's had
the last couple of days.
Yeah, I'm not sure which events Katie Shannon will be doing. She's also been another one that's been doing a wide variety, freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, and some IM. So yeah, she's in the backstroke as well, 200 backstroke, which is probably more of her area, isn't yeah,
it?
Indeed, yeah. She's the fastest on paper in the heats this morning. It's interesting to see how that one goes. As you can see, we're just about ready to get underway. Just the 3 swimmers in this one. And, 6, not 60 lengths, it's 30 lengths because of a long course.
We'll try and keep abreast of the distances. There was we had a kind of a failure in the scoreboard, so all the timings went for, I think it was the 800 the other day, and the distances in the lanes went. We had to get the calculators out to see where we were. Myself and Tony were like, oh goodness, we're going to have to think for ourselves now. Our electronic systems have failed, so but we managed it. Let's hope. Let's hope that none of these swimmers lose count. It's very easy to do in the 1500, but maybe a little bit better long course than it is short course 1500.
All you've got to do, Paul, is look at the far end. You can see 29, so you know if you can work it out. But it's not always easy to when you see a 21. Now, how far have they gone?
So the 3 swimmers we have taken the start here for this 1500. Lauren Dennett from the Isle of Man, 15-year-old, closest to us. In lane number 3, India Marshall from University of Aberdeen, performance in 4, and Amber Hinton from Dumfries with that white cap furthest away from us, 14-year-old from Dumfries. So all the races, as we have seen over the previous couple of days, the pictures you will see, lane 1 will be the closest lane, bottom of your screen, and lane 8 will be right at the top. And those two yellow marked lanes in the middle, closest to us, will be lane 4, and furthest away lane 5. So that's what we will see for all of the races. And going away in the early stages, University of Aberdeen performance, India Marshall. And again, India Marshall, I mean, a number of these swimmers, Robert, have had quite heavy programmes, isn't it?
Yeah.
The last day, 1500 freestyle. India Marshall.
India Marshall's had
don't know India Marshall. Well, I don't. I mean, you'll have seen a lot of competitions, but she's had a lot of races. She's been featuring at the head of the field a number of times this week. She's always a good indication that she's there or thereabouts in terms of her entry times.
Yeah, very much so. She'll be well accustomed to this pool. Swimmer from I think it's East Lothian originally, so now up in Aberdeen at universities up there. So now joined the University of Aberdeen performance setup. That's run by Patrick Miley and the team up there. So good head on. And it's going out pretty strongly. And it's important that these swimmers, Paul, all get into a nice steady rhythm. You don't want to be going out too fast. After you've maybe done the second and third 100, you'll settle into a nice steady time, whatever that steady pace is, whether it's 80 seconds, 78 seconds, but you want to be pacing at that same pace literally throughout. Just gradually build it up in the last couple of 100.
You'll see the splits there for the 50 metre times for each of the swimmers as they hit the wall, and we just saw that India Marshall around about a second faster than Lauren Dennett, and that's why that lead is increasing. Lauren Dennett, the 15-year-old, Amber Hinton, the 14-year-old, so the two youngsters in the wake of the leader. So you can just see the split there, 36.6 for India Marshall. And you see Lauren Dennett half a second outside that one, so that lead is increasing.
So that pace somewhere around the 73 seconds, so we would expect the next split somewhere around about the 444, 445, Paul, when she comes down at the 400 mark. But we'll get an idea here if it's around about the 36. There we are, 36, virtually bang on 36 and a half seconds. So double that, and you're in the 73 seconds. So all these girls are getting themselves into a nice steady rhythm after the first couple of 100 metres, and that's what you usually find. You might actually drop the pace a little bit about halfway through if they've just found that they're finding the 1500 a little bit tiring, and maybe that they're not fully tapered, as a lot of these swimmers won't be yet. Some more, I won't say more important competition. This is a big competition for some of them, but it's practice for Scottish national age groups for some of the younger swimmers, or perhaps the British trials are coming up in a month's time down in London.
Yeah, that's right. A number of swimmers here, of course, coming off the back of the World Championships as well. It's in Doha just a few weeks' time, so it's a kind of a, I don't know, an unusual time. And so you're like
almost
a month out.
House.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A month out from the World Champs, a month to go to the trials, Olympic and Paralympic trials, of course, in London. So it's an interesting one, and we've seen some swimmers that have come off the back of those World Championships and not really put in the performances, obviously building up for those trials, but we've seen people like Duncan Scott just come out absolutely fighting, didn't he?
Yeah. Some
fantastic times from Duncan Scott. Freya Colbert we saw yesterday as well, world champion, and she did an excellent 400 IM. So it's a real kind of mixture we're seeing here, but I think certainly for the top people, they're looking for those Olympic and Paralympic trials.
Yeah, Laura Stephen on Thursday maybe didn't quite do herself justice in the 200 butterfly. She didn't turn up yesterday for the 100, maybe a little bit under the weather. Maybe this was just one event too far for her. And Kenna McInnes had a cracking 200 butterfly that first day. We didn't do quite as well as she might have hoped last night in the 100. But,
yeah, mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag, Paul. India Marshall, 37 seconds, 6:35. The three girls fairly well strung out here. And what we've found that we don't have very many 14-year-olds at this event because of the times are pretty hard to get into the Edinburgh International. So you've got to be an exceptionally fast 14-year-old, and Amber Hinton is one of the few 14-year-old swimmers from Scotland that are at the event. I think Nikolai Sisnett in the boys section, he's also 14. I think he's the only 14-year-old that I've noticed swimming occasionally in the morning, but more in the afternoon. So Amber Hinton, white cap there, just a little bit further back. India Marshall, 7:12 at 600.
Yeah, she's still going pretty well. Still keeping up that pace. Maybe about the 1:13, excuse me. So, looking fairly good. She'll be, next time she hits that top end, she'll be at the halfway point. And, well, the lead, Robert, has kind of been established early on. It hasn't really changed too much, just maybe eked out, a couple of tenths every 50, so they all add up when they go through that 1500.
Yeah, we might have expected this to be a little bit closer, because on entry times, India's got an entry time of 18:15, Lauren 18:19, and Amber 18:17. But it very much depends on how their training schedule is at this moment in time. If they're in hard training, then we won't expect them to be anywhere near that entry time. We've seen some swimmers, maybe like Scott Fleming yesterday, who's his Kilbride's swimmer, doing something like 10 seconds over his entry time, which was a very respectable time on a 1500. So, yeah.
That's a halfway point now, Robert. 9:03.13. So double that one up. You're in the low 18 minutes. Well, she was slightly faster in the early stages, so she might be there or thereabouts for that entry time, I think.
So, yeah, as you say, Paul, double that and add a few seconds, and you're in the sort of low 19s, sorry, low 18s, teens, and that's very much on where India has entered, 18:15. So she's very much on her entry time. The other two girls a bit further back. And,
of course,
big gap now. 9:40 at 800.
Of course, it is the international meet, so I'm expecting, of course, to see the visitors from overseas. We've got one visitor from overseas in this one, Lauren Dennett from the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
Is that not, they're certainly overseas.
Well, we had the Isle of Man as well, so you could almost classify the Isle of Man as being overseas as well.
Exactly it. Yeah. Isle of Man, of course. I always remember the Isle of Man competing in the Commonwealth Games, so competing in the Island Games as well, which I think is coming up this year, I think. I was speaking to someone a few weeks ago who does gymnastics up in Orkney, and they're preparing for the Island Games. I think it's either this year or next. And the Isle of Man competing, there's a big event, the Island Games, that go around around the world, I think. Places like Malta and Sicily. And
it's a great opportunity for some of these small islands to compete. Different playing field, I suppose, Paul, when you come up against athletes from the world. You're not expected to do very much, but it's a different type of competition for them, and probably a lot more fun for them as well.
Yeah, well, Lauren Dennett, again, probably the likes of the Isle of Man. I said they compete as separate nation in the Commonwealth Games. Of course, Commonwealth Games, a little bit in doubt now for the future games, isn't there, after the withdrawal of the Australians from the games the next time. But
it very much boils down to cost and the way the COVID has affected a lot of sports, and countries are maybe struggling financially. So you can see that it might come back to the United Kingdom. Might be having to step in and do it again at some point. And, we just have to keep our fingers crossed that it goes ahead next time round.
That was a great event in Glasgow. I've got great memories of the Glasgow event, and it was a very spectacular in the Gold Coast as well, and Birmingham was a great games as well. So let's hope the Commonwealth Games can take place next time in some form or another. And these swimmers here, let's have a check on the gap as they go through the 1,000 metre mark here, because India Marshall has gone over in 12:09. There's about an 11-second gap now, Robert, and I wonder if that's just possibly closing up here, because Lauren Dennett has just picked up by around about a second on that last 50. So India Marshall just got to be careful. I mean, we're well through now. We're into the last third, but
as you can
Lauren
see,
Dennett making a little bit of a move.
A 37.69. She has the last couple of hundred metres sort of dropped from a sort of 73, maybe high 73 to sort of 74, 75 now. So our entry time, she's probably pacing a little bit over her entry time now. It's still a big ask, about 10 metres to make up here, Paul.
We'll have 8 lengths to go. She hits the bottom here. I just wonder what the gap is. I think physically it looks like it's closing up. We'll just check the splits. 37.68 for India Marshall, and as Lauren Dennett goes through 36, so it's a second of the gap is decreased by a second. So there's 8-second gap with 8 lengths to go.
So we might have a race. We might actually have a race. But you would expect India Marshall to pick it up in the last couple of hundred. But she's pacing around about 75 seconds for each 100, rather than the 73 she was earlier on. And I'll see that gap is just dropping down a wee bit, and you can see she got a long rangy stroke here.
Yeah, definitely closing 37.67. And again, another second. It's been consistent over the last 3 or 4 50s, and that gap is definitely closing.
It would be nice to see Amber Hinton do a 35, Paul, but Amber's just running her own race in 3rd place. Difficult for a 14-year-old who's maybe not had much opportunity to compete at this level. So this is good practice for Amber Hinton, so don't think that if she's 20-30 seconds over her entry time it's been a bad swim. It's all about practice of this event, and that'll do her world of good maybe a year or two down the line when she's hopefully still doing these events. Well, I think you've maybe called this correctly, Paul. It's certainly got a race on our hands now. Get an idea of the splits.
Still 5 lengths to go as they hit this top end, and the gap.
It's
not much in it now. I'm not sure. There's
5-6 metres maybe.
What do we got?
Well, it's a second, over a second, and we're down to barely 4.5 seconds with 5 to go. Certainly the race is very much on still.
Yeah, Lauren Dennett can, well, she have the bit between her teeth now, because she will be seeing India Marshall coming back to her, and that'll give her some encouragement. And India Marshall will be able to see, certainly at the turns, Lauren Dennett is closing, and she's just got to try and muster something up from somewhere. Again, another second there. It is reduced to 3.5 seconds now, and we have still 4 lines to go, so we could be on for a real close finish here. Just at the back of the field. Amber Hinton going along pretty much on a pace, and mid-37s for Amber Hinton, so she's been quite consistent.
Been,
but
yeah, very
here
good.
is the race at the front of the field.
Lauren's entry time comes from last year's English summer meet, where she won that at 1970. India Marshall third at the Scottish summer meet, and just missed out on a bronze at the national age groups. And you can see that camera shot, just about a body length, 200 metres. We're in the final 200 metres. We've got the bell, and that will give India maybe a wee bit of encouragement to just try and kick on again. 36, 35.
Oh, 35.
First a second, and nearly a second and a half, and you kind of think that India's done all the hard work, and it's not going to pay off in the final 50.
Oh, look at the speed there from Lauren Dennett. She has gone past India Marshall. Just wonder if India's got anything left in the tank. Can she respond here as they go to this final turn? Well, Lauren Dennett has worked hard to get back on terms. Has India Marshall left anything for this final sprint? We've had 1,450 metres. It's coming down to the last 50, but Lauren Dennett looks like she's got the momentum. I don't think India Marshall will be able to respond to this, Robert.
And it very much looks as though she's going to get pretty close to that entry time. Maybe just a smidgen over the 18:20 mark. But this is a storming finish, and India Marshall's trying to get back, but I don't think she's going to quite get there. Great race for both the swimmers. And in fact, Lauren Dennett finishing a 33.25, India 33.17, so they still had plenty left in the tank. It would have been a wee bit interesting if we'd had maybe 3 or 4 additional swimmers there. Maybe would have pushed both them on that a little bit more.
Oh, a great race to start us off with. 18:19.44, improvement on the entry time of Lauren Dennett, and India Marshall just a couple of seconds outside her entry time, with Amber Hinton not too far behind.
Not far back in third place, no. As I say, maybe 20 seconds or so. It's very respectable. It's really only just a second or so over every 100.
So a nice close contest. Looks like we've got some missing lanes,
yeah,
Robert. A couple of swimmers missing from this one. Lanes 1 and lane 4.
So we could have surprised lane 4 Zara Kravis, local swimmer from East Lothian. Maybe if she's got 1 or 2 other events this morning, maybe she's decided to forgo this one and concentrate on something a little bit less enduring. But she had some great swims the last couple of days, Zara, finishing like a train to get up at the death.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Spectacular finish, wasn't it? Last night, 5-6 faster than anyone on the final 50 and the final that she swam last night. But the full lineup for this one, we don't have anyone in lane 1, but we do have Tegan Black. She's had a very busy programme, the East Lothian swimmer, who leads them out in the early stages in lane number 2. Jessica Thomas is next to her in lane number 3. No one in 4, as we've said, but we have Caris Mooney from City of Glasgow in 5. Ella Smith from Borough of Stockton in lane 6. Grace Campbell, Portobello in 7. And Emily Headley from Newcastle out there in lane number 8, right at the top. So it is Tegan Black. Tegan Black from East Lothian, the 17-year-old. Said Robert, we've seen her on a number of events, and she always.
We shouldn't be surprised at her going out and taking it up at the beginning, because that seems to be Tegan's style. Good to see her having quite a number of variety of events over the 3 days, and she's competed in all of them at a very high standard, and I think she'll take this out very strongly. and hope that no one gets anywhere nearer in the final stages. All these entries in and around the 18-minute mark. There's a couple of swimmers, one swimmer who's not here, but the only other swimmer, Caris Mooney, 17:58.10. That's the swimmer in lane 5 with the blue cap, so the Glasgow. The rest of the swimmers in the low 18-minute mark. So we'll see how all of them go. Tegan Black, 2:16 at 200.
Yeah, slightly faster than the first heat we saw, so I expect something around about 18 minutes at this stage. Good head-to-head by Caris Mooney and Ella Smith there in 5 and 6, though they are vying for second position. Jessica Thomas there in 4th as one line up from the early leader, Tegan Black, and again, things getting slightly spread out, but not too much. Tegan Black probably the one who has taken this race by the scruff of the neck in the early stages, so we'll see what kind of position she is in. It'd be good to see someone dip under that 18-minute mark. It's always good to get these barriers broken. So as you said, Robert, we've got Tegan Black 18:03 as an entry time, Jessica Thomas 18:02, Ella Smith 18:03, so those swimmers will be hoping just to dip under that 18-minute barrier, so it'd be good to see. But Tegan Black looking good in the early stages, but as we saw from that previous 1500, India Marshall was pegged back in the closing stages, so it's very, very early days as they just go up towards the 350 metre mark. So still got, what, 80% of this race still to swim here.
You'll see the split around about 36 seconds, well, yeah, 35.99.
Well, you're not far away, Robert.
Not bad. But you can see that Tegan has virtually got herself into a fairly steady rhythm at 72 seconds, so I'm expecting a split pretty near the 4:40 mark here when she turns at 400.
Well, let's see.
A wee bit faster than the other girls.
Let's see how the prediction is, Robert. Wow, that's not bad. It's about half a second faster.
Yeah, she just picked up that little bit. 35.67, so she's pacing just inside 72 seconds pace. So she's got herself a long way clear of Ella Smith, but a Stockton swimmer.
Yeah.
Key thing in this, Paul, is not to panic if you've gone 300 or 400 metres and you've got one swimmer who's well clear. It's all about your own pace and not trying to chase, because if you blow up, then you've not done yourself any justice. And Tegan Black, 36.41. Well, it's the slowest 50 she's put in. So we'd expect her to turn round about the 5:51 mark.
And Ella Smith was slightly faster, but only by 1/100th, which means the gap certainly isn't getting any bigger. Tegan Black, Ella Smith there over in lane number 6. I think it's unlikely she'll be able to see Tegan Black from the angle she's at, over 5 lanes away, and Tegan Black slightly ahead, so unlikely that Ella Smith will be able to see where she is at this stage. Maybe if they come level, she might have a chance of looking over and seeing that, but Tegan Black away on her own. Ella Smith,
roughly 5.5 seconds clear of Ella at the moment after a third of the race, so we'll just see if she can add roughly a second for every 100, or whether that gap stays very much in that range for the next few hundred. 36.03, and Ella Smith a 36.61, so she's consistently just picking half a second or so extra on the rest of the field. And it's a long distance event where if you're out in front and no one's with you, you've got to just forget about it. Just get yourself that clock ticking, internal clock. Not easy, Paul.
Oh, she's doing well though. Still looking pretty relaxed. In those 36-second splits, Ella Smith just behind there, 36.37. In third position, it is Caris Mooney, who just went through there in 37.00, and Emily Headley in the outside lane in fourth, just at the top of your shot there, 37.05. So things getting a little bit spread out. Tegan Black going well though at the front of the field. We'll just check the split here as they go through the 650 mark.
Another
So
pretty
740.
steady low 36, Paul, so it's all good stuff from Tegan Black. Ella Smith just a wee bit faster than she's been, but not making any headway yet on the leader. Tegan Black, bronze medalist at the national age groups last April, and runner-up at the summer meet. Both those events up at the Aberdeen Sports Village, and that's where we'll be for Scottish national age groups in about 6 weeks, Paul, for all our 18 and under Scottish-based swimmers, and there might be a few from south of the border who also come up who've got very fast times. A few from Morpeth that were up last year, like swimmers like Gabby Libby Freeman, Seren Talentine. So they were up and competed and did very well, and we'll maybe see them this morning.
Here's a halfway stage, Robert. 750 metres gone, 8:52. So a little bit faster than we saw, about 8 seconds faster than we saw in that first heat.
So again, if you double that, you're in the 17:45 range, and add maybe 5-6 seconds. So Tegan Black is looking good to get at least a 10-second improvement on her entry time, and that will be a bonus for her, because she maybe isn't really going out expecting to smash 10 seconds off that. 56.64. Well, I think it's been the slowest one we've seen from Tegan.
Yeah, Ella Smith again, just closing the gap by 0.2 of a second. And, well, still a big gap though between the first and second position. So Tegan Black swum this very well so far. We'll just keep an eye on that gap though as we go through. Still just over halfway gone. Of course, one more heat of the 1500s to come, but it's not getting swum in this morning's session. The fastest heat will be swum in the evening session, the finals session. So that will be the fastest 8 swimmers in terms of their entry times for this competition will be swum tonight. We've got a couple of other 1500s in this afternoon session as well. So
it's always good to look forward to 1500. I thoroughly enjoy watching just what goes on in the pool, and you do get some very exciting finishes. A lot of tactics come into play as well. Tegan Black, no real tactics in this one. She just wants to go out and post a good time and ensure she wins this at this point. And she still looks pretty strong, still 7 seconds ahead, and we're nearly 2/3 of the way through the race, Paul. She's looking pretty good.
Yeah, unlike the other events that we'll see this morning, this is the one and only chance they'll have to swim this 1500, so it's not heats and finals like we'll see for all the other events. So the other events, the swimmers will be trying to make their way into one of those finals tonight, whether it be the A final, the youth final, or the super final for the fastest 8 swimmers across all the heats. But this is the only chance they'll have to swim this 1500, so got to make the most of it early on this Sunday morning here in Edinburgh. And Tegan Black trying to do that. She's gone over 36.76 for that previous 50, and Ella Smith was 36.58, so not much in it at all. Again, just maybe 0.1 of a second or something, the difference between the two leaders in terms of their times for the previous 50. We'll just check the gap there, 36.6 and 36.3. So, well, 6.5 seconds, but that gap is reducing by maybe 0.2 each 50, so
yeah, it really
it's not going to be enough.
By a good second, as we saw in that previous heat, but this is roughly where the swimmers sometimes, as runners doing a marathon, will sort of hit the wall, and it's important just to try and keep that rhythm going for the next couple of hundred and get past it. But sometimes the time's slow, and they get slower and slower, and you'll get a swimmer comes out after that 1500 absolutely exhausted, having had a great first half. It just goes completely AWOL in the latter stages. It does happen. There's not much you can do about it, Paul.
No, there isn't.
Grin and bear it.
Yeah, that's right. You've got to try and put absolutely everything into it. The best way to finish it, a race, you get to the end of the race and you think, yeah, I didn't have anything more to give than that, and that's what you really want. You don't want to finish the race like a 1500 and think, you know what, I could have just pushed that a little bit, I've got a little bit of energy left. But on the other hand, you don't want to go out too fast and be absolutely spent in the latter stages.
Or you kind of feel that Tegan Black sort of hit the wall, and it's 30. That's a 37. And she's maybe just got to accept, okay, I'm maybe not got much left in the tank if that's the case, but I just want to keep going. I want to get this job done. 36.5, just try and keep it going. I might not get a 36, but I want to just keep my rhythm going and try and get the job finished. But she's still got a healthy advantage. It's coming back a wee bit, but as you say, Paul, it needs to be a second every 50. She's maybe getting quarter, maybe a third of the second, but the gap is a wee bit small, but we're running out of distance now. 300 to go, maybe 6-7 metres. 36.64 for that last 50. Now again, about a quarter of a second, and we've got a 5-second gap, so a quarter of a second is not going to do very much with 6 lengths to go. She's only going to catch maybe a couple of seconds. She needs a good 5. Let's just see if Tegan's managed to keep this at 36.5 here.
Yeah, top 2 in your shot there. Third place, I can tell you, is Caris Mooney, who's swimming about 37 seconds. Fourth place is still Emma Headley up there in lane number 8. But again, you can see there another 0.3 of a second, 0.26 of a second. So Tegan Black looking good to take this one as she comes down to the 1300 metre mark. Just going back to the field there. Looks like Jessica Thomas in 5th place, Grace Campbell in 6th in this one. But the two leaders, well, the gap, you can kind of see it with the naked eye there. It has reduced, but Tegan Black's still very much in control of this, and she's been pretty consistent in the 36.5 range, just above the 36.5, as has Ella Smith, because she's kind of been in the low 36s for maybe the last 300-400 metres. So it has reduced, and they're swimming pretty consistently, but it looks like it's destined to finish in this order, I think, Robert, unless something special happens in the last couple of hundred.
Yeah, they're virtually, entry times are almost identical. Tegan 18:03:30, whereas Ella is on an 18:03.14. Where you have a 0.3 and a 0 at the end, it sort of suggests it's a short course time that's been converted to long course. So if that is the case, swimming inside your entry time with a short course conversion is quite impressive, and it's been a pretty impressive swim by both girls. I think they're both going to come a little bit under the 17-minute mark. Certainly Tegan Black with looks as though she's going to be just inside it. I think Ella Smith going to be virtually on her entry time. We were pacing a little bit faster than that in the early stages, but as you saw, the pace just dropped to around a 73, and when you get 6 or 7 of them, all of a sudden that 17.50 becomes pretty close to 18 minutes. So let's wish Tegan Black a strong finish. We want her turning here in around a 35. That's good.
She should be under that 18-minute mark, I think, Robert. If she can bring this one back in a similar pace, and that would be an excellent swim for Tegan Black. 18:03 was the entry time for Tegan, and she's going to be somewhere around about the 17:57. I think Ella Smith maybe just going to be over the 18-minute mark, but here's Tegan Black. She's led from start right to the finish, and she is going to get her reward under the 18-minute mark. Great stuff from Tegan Black. 17:57. She'll be delighted with that one. And Ella Smith in 18:03.61, almost bang on her entry time, just 0.5 shy of that one. And it will be Caris Mooney coming in now. Didn't really see much of Caris Mooney during that race, so we're concentrating on the top two in terms of the pictures, but Caris Mooney 18:15, and close contest for fourth, won by Emily Headley, just ahead of Jessica Thomas.
And again, Caris Mooney, who won the summer meet last year, her entry time 17:50.10, which is probably a short course conversion. So she's added 15, just over 15 seconds, which is really just a second over for every 100. And you can see the big P being the Portobello cap of Grace Campbell, who is the East District Open Water Ladies Champion. Just thought I threw that.
So this 1500 a bit of short distance for her.
It really is a short distance for Grace. Yeah, she did a lot of events last year, performed extremely well, and it's great to see her still competing at the age of 20. She's not a member of university team. She's still swims at the club just a few miles down the road at Portobello.
Tegan Black there, confirmed as the winner. 17:57 for her. She'll be delighted with that one. She went out at a pace. Ella Smith came back in the closing stages, didn't quite have enough, and she will take second place with 18:03. That is the third heat, which we will see tonight.
Yeah, that should be
from the final session. Michaela Glenister returning to the pool, trying to add another title. She won the 400. Can she add the 1500 to that one? Now we are going right to the other end of the spectrum, Robert. We're into the 50s, and we have 6 heats of the men's 50 metres breaststroke, followed by 6 heats of the female 50 metres butterfly. So the male and open 50 metres breaststroke. See James will be a little bit later on trying to go for the treble, but it's all about qualification for the finals. As we said a little bit earlier, we have youth finals for swimmers who are 18 years and under. We have the B finals, and we have the super finals for the top 8, the fastest 8. So in this one, heat 1, Lachlan Small in 1, Luke Jansen in 2, Jacob Duncan in 3, Max Pelosi in 4, Johnny Martin in 5, Callum Aitchison in 6, and Rory Webster in 7. All the entry times in the 31-second range, so this promises to be a close contest, Robert.
It should be. It's always fast and furious. Looks like it's the Perth swimmer Johnny Martin who's had a pretty good meet. 16-year-old, and I think he's going to take this one. Going well in 7. Rory Webster from Dumfries. And in lane 3, probably getting second, is Jacob Duncan from Rory Webster. And, Johnny Martin, 31.68, takes that one. Jacob Duncan, Rory Webster, 31.97 and 32.07. On to our second heat. As you can see, we've got Finlay Nelson, Dumfries, Royce Gringelis, City Glasgow, Scott McDougall from Bristol, 4, Matthew Garrity, City Glasgow 5, Matthew Hand, Swim Ireland 6, Christian Ryan, University of Bath, Jack Mitchell 7, Ewan Beattie and 8, both from University of Aberdeen Performance. Well, pretty good start in 3 there from Jacob Duncan, the Highland swim team, pushing on pretty strongly here, Paul.
Yeah, again, we've got a couple of swimmers in the middle lane, the 2 Matthews, who are just in the low 30s. It'd be good to see someone dip under the 30-second mark in these early heats, possibly lane 3 though. It's Scott McDougall into the wall, and he is under the 30 mark. Great swim from Scott McDougall from Bristol, and he will take that one in 29.85. So Scott McDougall, the oldest man in the field at 30 years of age, 29.85, showing the youngsters the way home.
I wonder if that's the same Scott McDougall that was a member of the club at Portobello.
Oh,
Whose dad John, I think, was and may still be an East District referee, but he might have moved down to Bristol, because I think he swam with the Aberdeen Dolphins. I haven't seen him, so he's maybe not retired after all.
It's a bit of a coincidence there if it's the same name.
Yeah.
Next heat underway, Marius Kringelis, Aidan Fothergill, Sam Williamson, no one in 4, William Dean in 5, Max Vass in 6, Robson Miles in 7, and Mika van Vleut in the outside lane. And challenging for the lead, Mika van Vleut right up there at the top, and also Robson Miles in 7, going well.
Andrew Feener, I think, is coming through strongly in final stages, but lane 3, 5 and 7. And in fact, Marius Kringelis takes second, but it was Sam Williamson, 30.06, Marius 30.26, and Robson Miles 30.34.
So just one swimmer under the 30-second mark so far. Here is the 4th heat. We're into the seeded heats now, so some of the faster swimmers we'll see in those middle lanes.
Yeah, it should be a wee bit easier in theory to call. We're more likely to see the lanes 4, 5 or 3, 4, 5, 6. Very much to the 4, Callum Melville. Now at Stirling University, the Scottish junior record holder. Had a strong start in 3. So William Godsill, Stein Luther, Bramsfeld, Holt, Callum Melville, Rory Dixon, Lewis Feeks, Ethan Holmes, Joshua Mitchell. That's Fritz Lut from the Netherlands. Rory Dixon coming through very strongly in the latter stages. I think Rory Dixon might just get this. It's on a touch. And it was just Fritz Lut, 28.15 from Dixon, 28.25. And 3rd place, Callum Melville in 4, 29.01. I think that will be good enough to get these 3 guys into the A final.
Well, still 2 fast finals to come, and here's the next one: Charlie Trotman, Alex Meyer, Lewin Viano, James Wilby, Owen Corby, Luca Janssen, Usain Cook, and Julius Gustafsson. Real international feel about this one. Irish swimmer, Netherlands, French, and the Swedes alongside some of the UK swimmers. Don't think we have Alex Meyer in lane 2 for Stirling University, but everyone else is there, I think, Robert.
They seem to be, yeah.
That red cap
that's
of James Wilby, trying to go for the treble, the breaststroke treble here. 31 years of age now, but he's got such a good record in the international competitions over the last few years, the last decade or so almost, for James Wilby. And he was 2nd place in the British Championships last year, so maybe better known as a 200 breaststroker, but great over the 100 breaststroke. He's had international success over that distance, and also in the 50 as well. He is absolutely no slouch. So we saw 2 in the 28-second mark, 1 just bang on the 29-second, but Wilby is going to lead them home here for this heat. Next to him is Lubin Viano, and again 2 in the 28-second range, so Wilby and Viano. You would think that should be
you'd certainly expect
good for the final.
It's a question of whether the 29.01 from Cal Melville will keep him just in the frame for getting there.
It's looking good so far, actually.
He
So
is,
he's in 5th place.
Yeah. So final heat: Alex Turnbull, Liam O'Connor, Marcus Vidas, Kern Groot, Archie Goodburn, Ivan Cross, Arthur Dobson and Connor Mitchell. Connor Mitchell, youngster from Orland, has been swimming very, very well against some of these older swimmers over that far side. But Archie Goodburn in 5, maybe just shades it at the moment, Paul. But there's not a lot in it.
Yeah, Archie Goodburn going very well. The British Championships last year, 27.19 in those champs, and see if he can get anywhere close in the 28-second range. And Colin Groot actually coming through to take that one at the end, 28.12. So number of swimmers in the 28 range there, 4 swimmers, and that might mean it's 28 to make the final.
Yeah, I think Arthur Dobson is first reserve.
No, Dobson's in there.
Well, he's just scraped in, and Callum Melville will be potentially first reserve.
And a tie for 11th place there, Robert.
Well, looks like a swim off will be coming our way, but
I don't know. 11th place, or what will that be? That's it. That's
no,
third reserve, isn't it?
Third reserve. No.
See, they had them in 8s yesterday on the graphics.
Yeah, indeed.
They're trying to catch us out today, making it back in 10s there.
Well, unless someone withdraws, then that could give us a swim off for a reserve spot. But
we do like a swim off.
We've had a couple.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, a double swim off yesterday.
Swim off yesterday, and just the one swim off on Friday.
So the first heat of the 6 for the female 50 metres butterfly, and Leila Delinen Kataiti goes in 3 for Randaberg. Louise Connell, City of Glasgow, in 4, and Ailsa Clubb from Aberdeen Dolphins in lane number 5. So the Randaberg swimmer, Delinen Kataiti, we've seen her a few times. It's a name we recognise now in the commentary box, isn't it, Robert?
We're getting used to it. Yeah, we're getting used to it, Paul.
Not sure if we're quite nailing it yet, but we're trying hard. We're trying our best.
Yeah.
And she's going to come in to the finish in 29.63. So a good time there. She's improved her time by 0.3 of a second. Ailsa Clubb just over the 30-second mark, and Louise Connell similarly. So a good start. Good. Start there for Delinen Kataiti.
And we'd just like to mention, if we are getting the pronunciation really badly wrong, we're more than happy to have someone come up and just get us the right pronunciation.
Absolutely.
So we've got Mary Wood, Zoe Crawford, Alice Cumming, Orla McInnes, Charlotte Williams, Ashley Bailey and Alexander Miller. And they start here in lane 1, Mary Wood from University of Aberdeen Performance. Also well there, I think Charlotte Williams in 5. Also in 6, Ashley Bailey. It's very tight at the final stage here, Paul. 6.5 and maybe 1. 6.54 it was. Ashley Bailey, City of Manchester, taking that 29.22, 29.61. Charlotte Williams and Orla McInnes from Heart of Midlothian, 29.62, third place. And Leila Weatherspoon, another Heart swimmer, goes in this one. She's in 3. Ashley Ransom, Alyssa Mainwaring, Leila Weatherspoon, Chloe Harris, Alice Mackey, another Heart swimmer, in 5. Kirsty Breakin, Alison Cool and Katie Rose, another swimmer who will know this pool well from Warner Bass Club.
A big representation from the host city, Heart swimmers, and Edinburgh University swimmers, and also Warrender Baths as well. And it's a good start there up in lane 8 from Katie Rose, Warrender Bath swimmer.
So we want to get into another junior final. She's had a few over the 2 days, and Katie Rose is going extremely well. So just don't discount her out of getting there in 4 rather.
Dead
Harris,
heat.
I think, got second.
Dead heat there, I think it was, Robert, for first. Chloe Harris and
29
Katie
dead.
Rose.
Yeah. I'll settle for getting Katie Rose winning that. Melissa Mainwaring in third. So dead heat for our third heat.
There's the lineup for the fourth heat. We are in now to the seeded heats. Maisie Guilford in 1, Becky Watson in 2, Kira Slosson in 3, Jessica Calderbank in 4, Lily Rose Berthelot in 5, Maddie Robertson in 6, Kat Price in 7, and Stella McCarty in lane number 8. So in the centre lanes there, Jessica Calderbank and Lily Rose
pretty level at the moment. And, even on the far side, Stella McCarty better over maybe 100, but coming through very strongly now. Lily Rose Bertholt, and in 3 it's 5, 3 and 4, I think. Well, 3, 5, 4 was all very much on the touch. Kira Slosson 27.62, Lily Rose Bertholt 27.65, Jessica Calderbank 27.81.
So what do you think then, Robert? 27.81, third place in that one.
Yeah.
Is that going to be enough, or are we going to be looking at mid 27s?
Mid 27s. I don't think that's good enough, Paul.
So we have a swimmer missing here. So no Emma Harvey in lane number 3, the Bermudan. We do have Yasmin Hammerlane, Rebecca Guy, Ellen Walsh, Lucy Grieve, Anastasia Urbaniak, Alana Burns-Atkin and Lois Mully. So in the centre, maybe lane number 6 going well.
Yeah,
Urbaniak, the French swimmer.
She got a great start, Urbaniak. Lucy Grieve coming through strongly. And in 4, Ellen Walsh. At lane 2, Rebecca Guy's nailed this from Lucy Grieve and Ellen Walsh. Well, at 27.6ish range is going to be the interesting marker, Paul, as you say.
Yeah, Ellen Walsh 27.65 in third place. Rebecca Guy taking this one.
Yeah, she'll be in the final, I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty sure Lucy Grieve 27.61 will be pretty safe. We've got Faith Yuda, Tilda Mola, Emmy Haltzvist, Tessa Gill, Georgina Pryor, Kiara Morris, Ailey Robertson, Abigail Stamp. Cracking start in lane 4, Tessa Gill on at the 100, and at the moment she's got this one pretty well under control. Georgina Pryor in 5 trying to come there, and Emma Haltvist. That's those 3. They've got the race between them. Yeah, 26.87. Haltvist 27.14 and 27.40. All good for the final, those 3.
Yeah, I think we're going to have 3 from the last heat, 3 from the penultimate heat, and maybe 2.
27.65 is on the money for getting in there. And a joint 14 with Stella McCarty. She at the moment scrapes into the B final. Below that, Anastasia will be first reserve. You see further down, Katie Rose 22, so she'll be one of a number of swimmers hoping that they'll retain that place for evening finals. Maybe swimmers like Madison Cool, Alice Cumming a bit further down. And that completes the swimmers that took part in that last one, Paul. Doesn't usually go beyond 40, but we had 6 heats.
For the 100 freestyle, of course the 50s for the 50 breaststroke and the 50 butterfly we've just seen will progress to the A final, will be the skins final. So we saw the skins in the 50, so the top finalists for the super final will have one race for that super final, and then they'll have a series of races after that. So we'll drop down to 4 for the second skins, and then we'll have dropped down to 2 for the skins final. So we had some exciting contests yesterday. Women's 50 backstroke was very close, and Danielle Hull from Ireland taking that one out, Kathleen Dawson, Duncan Scott winning the freestyle skins. So we've had some impressive skins performances, but it's not the skins for the 100 freestyle. These swimmers in these heats of the 100 freestyle trying to make their way into the super finals and the A finals and the youth finals. No skins for them when we get to the final session tonight. Henry Baker goes in 1 for Stirling University, Conor Fitzgerald Swim Ireland in 2, Darmid Sutton from the National Centre in Limerick in 3, Lewis Maxwell Derwent side goes in lane number 4. We have Evan Davidson Perth City in 5, Finley Club Edinburgh University in 6, Harry Robinson Stirling University in 7, and Carlos Halavi from Hovedstatens, the visitors from Denmark who are regular visitors here to the Edinburgh International. So 7 swimmers all in a row. I think Darmid Sutton is just cruising through this one as they come into the final touch there, and it's Henry Baker who takes that one ahead of Evan Davidson, Harry Robinson in 3rd place, and Darmid Sutton obviously went out.
Yeah.
Like tried to go out actually. I was going to say, did he go out for a fast time, but I'm not sure he did, because he had 38 on that split. So obviously something's gone awry for Darmid Sutton.
We'll come back to that one, Paul. I was actually watching that while you were doing the commentary in depth. Excellent. No, it was a 24:33. Clearly, Dermot had decided that he didn't fancy his chances of getting into an A or B final, and he wanted to get a split for the 50, which is fine. That sometimes happens at the longer events. The swimmer will go out, blast the first 50 or blast the first 100 or 200, and then as long as they complete the race, that's fine, Paul.
Yeah, we'll register their time for the split.
Finn McGeever 1 from National Centre Limerick. 2.
He's not no 1 and 2, Robert.
No 1 and 2. 3, Thomas Leggett, Swim Ireland. 4, Casper Pugard, Hovedstatens. 5, Rory McKinnon, City Glasgow. 6, was in Tabiti from Swim Ireland. 7, Tom Tuman, Derby Excel. And 8, Charlie Poole, Stirling University. Well, it was almost 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, but it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's still very much on that Thomas Leggett, but here comes Pugard. Pugard, I think, maybe just going to get this. Well, almost a dead heat again. 31, 51, 33. Leggett just takes that. Pugard 2nd, and Charlie Poole on the far side, 52-24 in 3rd place.
Yeah, Pugard's been competing very well over a number of events over the last couple of days. Here's the lineup for heat number 3 of the 5 heats. So again, we've got some of the fast swimmers in the centre of the pool. We're into the seeded heats. We have a full field. Nicholas Castella goes in 1. Danny Morgan from National Centre of Dublin in 2. Evan Bailey and Shane Ryan in 3 and 4 from Swim Ireland. David Cumberledge, saw him in the skins against Duncan Scott yesterday over the 50. He goes for Edinburgh University in 5. Oliver Sogard Anderson from Hovedstatens in 6. Brandenburg from Team Netherlands in 7. Oh, no show in 7, but Rob Derbyshire from University of Bath goes in lane number 8. So good start there for Cumberledge. Shane Ryan and Cumberledge absolutely together at the turn, and 4 and 5 are leading them back. Cumberledge in 5, just with the edge over Shane Ryan here from Swim Ireland. 2 experienced campaigners in the middle, but Cumberledge looking very strong there, 49.57. A great second 50 from David Cumberledge to get in ahead of Shane Ryan and Evan Bailey in 3rd. So just over the 50-second mark, Robert, again with 2 heats to come. 50.62 might be enough, but again, probably looking to be round about low 50s to make this final.
Yeah, realistically, because the last 2 heats, they'll know what they've got to do. So they'll have a full house for this one, which is good. Matthew Walsh-Hussey from Swim Ireland in 1. Bruno Kempster, Edinburgh University 2. 3, Jordan Cooley, Leeds University is in 3. 4, Sean Neville from Feyenoord. 5, Joe Litchfield, Loughborough Performance Centre. 6, Jamie Ingram, City Manchester Aquatics. 7, Callum Fox-Jones, University of Bath. And then 8, Vince van der Paal from Team Netherlands. 48s through to high 50s in this one. The middle lanes very prominent. Neville, that's when 24, 21, Ingram and Litchfield second and third. The rest of the field all pretty tightly bunched. It's 4 swimmers almost in a line. I think it's just Neville who just shades it from Litchfield. Lanes 4 and 5. Neville, lane 3. Cooley takes second, just ahead of Litchfield. Well, 50.79 in third place might be good enough. Neville, no problem. On a 50.13 will be pretty safe. Although 50.
50.79, 6th place at the minute with 1 heat to come, so could be struggling to certainly make that super final. There is the lineup for the last heat, and we have a full 8 swimmers in this one. Joe Watterson in 1, Scott Gibson, Edinburgh University in 2, Thomas Piron from League of Air in 3, 3 from Stirling University, Duncan Scott, Jack McMillan and Evan Jones in 4, 5 and 6. Stefan Kravitz goes in 7, and Merlin Belmont from Team Netherlands in the outside lane. Well, Duncan Scott, again, we've spoken about him this week, the number of events that he's done, certainly on night 1, 200 individual medley and 200 freestyle. He had a couple of sensational swims. 100 freestyle is one that it's a target event for Duncan Scott as well. He's had huge success in the past. He is the Commonwealth Games medalist, Commonwealth Games champion back in the Gold Coast as well. And Duncan Scott showing his strength here, coming back on Jack McMillan, his teammate at University of Stirling. And it is going to be Scott and McMillan into the wall. 49.49 for Duncan Scott. Jack McMillan also dips under the 52nd mark. And in third place was Thomas Piron, 52.8. I think that might be enough for Thomas Piron, I think.
I would say so, probably about 6th or 7th. Well, 5th actually.
5th, yeah.
And Evan Bailey on a 50.62. Pretty comfortably gets him into the A final. And Evan Jones at the moment, 51.49, is just inside for the B final. And some of these swimmers, if they're in the junior category, will have swims this evening. And that's you up to date. Just for those of you tuning in, Colin de Groot, Bram Swipslot, Archie Goodburn, Rory Dixon, James Wilby, Ivor Cross, Lubin Piano and Rafa Dobson. They're the provisional finalists for our 50 breaststroke with B final Callum Melville, Marcus Kaviris, Usain Cook, Alec Turnbull, Liam O'Connor, Erin Corby, Luca Janssen and Scott McDougall, no less.
We said Bristol before, but it's Briston, isn't it? Where's that one from then?
Well, maybe have
Briston
to,
Hen is the abbreviation.
Yeah, well, maybe have to get that for you. Check that one out.
Because that was the 2 swimmers as well
was.
from Briston as well. Rebecca Guy also representing Briston Club, so we'll have to do our homework there to see where that comes from.
We'll get that to you later on.
You're on that, Robert?
I'm on that now, yeah. I'll leave this heat in your capable hands.
All right, okay.
200 backstroke, so I'll maybe even have an answer by the time we get back.
Well, the 200 backstroke first heat. There's 4 heats of the 200 backstroke.
Yeah, but don't hold me to that, Paul.
Well, you know, you set yourself a target now. You don't want to over-promise and under-deliver, that's it.
Exactly.
Cora Rooney in lane number 2, Heidi Wren from City of Glasgow in 3, Anna Tyers from Derby Excel in 4, Rebecca Reid from Aberdeen in lane number 5, Valentine Leclerc from League of Air in lane number 6, and Caitlin Ebbage out there leading them through in lane number 7. So Anna Tyers had such a good swim last night in the finals. We were saying that she in no way lived up to her name because she was so strong. It was almost that Anna doesn't tire at all, because she was so strong at the end of that race, Anna Tyers. Let's see what she's got at the end of this 200 backstroke. Real good lead there for Caitlin Ebbage, Stirling University swimmer. 2:20 is her entry time, the others in the 2:19 range. So we'll see how close they can get to that time. As I said, 4 heats of this 200 backstroke. After this one, we immediately go into the 3 seeded heats. So we've got some of the top performers here at the Edinburgh International in the heat to follow. But this will set the target for those 3 heats to come. I wonder if anyone in this one can force their way into a final tonight, whether it be a junior final or one of the B finals or the super finals later on. Well, Caitlin Ebbage, 19-year-old, doesn't qualify for the youth final, so she's going to have to try and force her way into one of the A or Bs. Well, it looks like a good performance from her, and 2:18.28, should be delighted with that one. Entry time of 2:20, and she's managed to force her way under that mark. Valentine Leclerc, I've seen her in the distance events before, and she's in second place in 2:22, with Cora Rooney in third at 2:23. So the action taking place all over the pool. Cora Rooney, Caitlin Ebbage and Valentine Leclerc. So straight in to the seeded heat, which is the 200 metre backstroke heat number 2.
I'm going to leave you in full charge of this, Paul, but
Are you still doing your research?
I can confirm that Scott McDougall is Bristol Henelise, which is a club in the north side of Bristol.
Oh, it is in Bristol, is it?
It is Bristol, it is indeed.
Right.
Yeah, and apparently they've got close on 400 members, so they do a fair bit.
Is it Briston or Bristol?
It is actually Bristol.
It's Bristol.
Bristol.
But on our entry time it says Briston, doesn't it?
It does indeed, but
they're definitely trying to catch us out this morning, I think. Somebody's got it in for us.
So I'll just try and check on Mr. McDougall and just find out if
he is the one you thought.
My thoughts were indeed correct.
So as Robert checks that out, Heat 2 is underway. Ingrid Elise Bergstrom from Randaberg in 1, Molly Garrett from City of Manchester Aquatic in 2, Susie McNair from Stirling goes in 3, Meddy Harris leads them out. Meddy Harris again, one that we need to watch. Great 100 backstroke that we saw on day 1, a great 200 freestyle yesterday from Meddy Harris, Loughborough performance swimmer. Niamh Ward from University of Bath in 5, Olivia Butler and Ella Shields, Edinburgh University in 6 and 7, and Gabby Freeman from Morpeth, the youngest swimmer in the field at 16. She goes in lane number 8. So Meddy Harris, member of the 4x200 freestyle relay team that took a silver medal in the recent World Championship. She was swimming against the 2 of her teammates in that final last night, in the 200 freestyle final. In fact, all 4 of those relay members were swimming last night here in Edinburgh, but Meddy Harris is one. Certainly she'll be targeting those Olympic trials coming up in London in a few weeks' time. Winner of the European short course, Meddy Harris, so she has some pedigree in this 200 metres backstroke. As I said, great over the backstroke disciplines, great over the 200 freestyle, so a number of chances to try and force her way into the Olympic team. But Meddy Harris is looking very comfortable here The Edinburgh International meet record is very swift 2:08.32, held by Lizzie Simmons, who's again a regular visitor to here in Edinburgh. But Maddie Harris eases in 2:13.25. Niamh Ward and Olivia Butler come in absolutely together. Niamh Ward just getting the touch ahead of Butler, and Molly Garrett in third position. But a good swim there. Maddie Harris, 2:13.25. Well, that'll be the target for the heats to follow, and she will have secured her place in that super final tonight with that swim. A couple of top swimmers to come though in the heats to follow. Maria Godden, fastest qualifier, 2:08.59 her entry time for the Irish swimmer in lane number 4. That's the lineup for heat number 3. A big Irish presence in this one.
Massive Irish presence. They always come along to this meet year after year and support it in great numbers, and it's great to see them over here. I'll need to speak or find out from Laura Bowie if Scott McDougall has jumped ship from Aberdeen and gone to Bristol, because I'm not getting any joy on the web accessing rankings for Scott McDougall.
Bit of a coincidence, isn't it? Same name.
Too much of a coincidence, Paul. Ellen Walsh, Swim Ireland. Victoria Catterson, also Swim Ireland 1 and 2. Lottie Hosper, Team Netherlands. 4, Maria Godden, Swim Ireland. Holly McGill and Kathleen Dossel, 5 and 6 from Stirling University, with Lucy Hitchin in 7, Edinburgh University, and Nellie Kinch from Stirling University goes in the outside lane. That's Dutch lass, Lottie Hosper, 31.43, who's taken it out. Pretty well at this early stage. The body lane clear, Paul, as we approach the halfway mark. Sometimes it's very much for the swimmers in the middle lanes just doing enough to qualify for this evening. Sometimes you get caught out if you've gone out too slowly in the first 100. Lottie Hosper, 33.49. Still Kathleen Dawson, Maria Godden, and Holly McGill. And also well there in 1, Ellen Walsh trying to get nearer those 4. Well, at the moment, Lottie Hosper looks as though she's got a good chance of getting into the final, but 4 won't, I don't think, get into that final from here. At the moment, Maria Godden, there's a heck of a lot to do, Paul, in lane 4. Kathleen Dawson just doing enough, I think, in 3rd place. Holly McGill going well though in lane 5. She's coming through very strongly in the final stages, and she's I think she's gone up to take this one. Holly McGill, the Scottish team competing at the Commonwealth Games, just touched out. 2:14.55, 2:14.72. Kathleen Dawson, 17:08.
Yeah, Holly McGill coming into some form. She had a good Bucks Championships, 2:11 at the Bucks just a couple of weeks ago. So Holly McGill has shown some good early season form building into those trials, and as you said, always good to see Kathleen Dawson back, the Olympic champion in the relay, back in water again after her injury troubles over the last few years, but trying to, saw an interview in on the BBC website, I think it was actually, saying that it's all about the Olympic qualification for Kathleen Dawson, and she's timing it pretty well, coming back into form in the lead up to those trials.
Does that give us an opportunity to throw in the Townie Kirkcaldy again?
That's
Paul?
right, yeah, well, we were talking about that. Her mum messaged me on social media to say she's very proud of her Kirkcaldy heritage, Kathleen Dawson. She's born in the same place as me.
Yeah.
But I think I've done that one to death now over the last couple of days.
You've done it to death, and for those of you, if you see a swimmer from Finns, that's your local club, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, they're based in Kirkcaldy. The last one for Glenrothes. So the big rivals, Finns and Glenrothes, you know. But yeah, Finns based in Kirkcaldy, and they've got a couple of representatives here at this championships. I have Glenrothes as well, so 5 clubs doing well. But last heat, let's see what we can get here for this final heat. Who is going to take this one? Katie Shanahan looking good in the early stages. Full lineup, Falka Tind from Hovedstatens had a couple of good races this last couple of days. Carla Malheru from Liga Verne in lane number 2. Lottie Cullen from Swim Ireland goes in 3. Katie Shanahan, spoke about her a little bit earlier, her and Duncan Scott doing multiple events here. Katie Shanahan goes in 4. Sophie Shaw, City of Manchester Aquatic in 5. Manon Domingo from Liga Verne in 6. Amy Shields in 7 from Edinburgh University, and Melissa Mainwaring goes in 8 for West Lothian. So Katie Shanahan, we've seen her do a number of events that we don't often see her doing at the big events, maybe the shorter sprint events, and maybe some of the others, the freestyle events and the breaststroke event I think she did. But Katie Shanahan, very much 200 backstroke and 400 individual medley specialists at the big internationals, and she's had success in those events at the international Commonwealth Games bronze medalist in this event, the 200 metres backstroke world championship representative, and also the British champion in this one. So Katie Shanahan easing her way into the wall, pressed by the swimmer 2 lanes up, and that's Manon Domingo. But Shanahan should be safely into the wall first. 2:14.85, just shy of the time on that previous heat and of Mary Harris in the first heat. So they're all going to be a little bit bunched up in that 2:13, 2:14 range.
Yeah, 2:17.07, 2:17.10. Let's sneak 2:17.10 into the final.
Three very close there. 17.10, 7 and 29. Shanahan and Domingo should be safe into that final. They are.
17.10 scrapes.
You're right, Robert.
Scrapes in. Yeah. Kathleen Dawson just did enough. She's in the outside lane. And Susie McNair in 16th. At the moment, she's in the B final, the 17-year-old from Stirling Swimming. And that's the remainder of the competitors. I mentioned Grabby Freeman from Morpeth, there she is. So potentially she'll have a swim, maybe a bit of luck for her in the junior final. Stay with backstroke, it's an open one.
Yeah, 4 heats again, as we've seen previously. I think have we just got the 3 swimmers in this one? I think we have. We were due to have 5 taking the start, but
it is Sunday though, Paul.
Yeah. Well, a few withdrawals this morning, but I've got spare lanes on either side of the man in the middle, who's Robert Burgess. We've got Edward Bell in 2 from Seagulls, George Whittle in 6 from Derby Excel, and in 4 Robert Burgess from Edinburgh University. So George Whittle from Derby Excel looks like he's leading them through. Robert Burgess in the centre, almost in a diagonal line as they hit this first turn. Times of the entry times, Robert Burgess 2:07. The others are in the 2:08 range. The Seagulls Club, Robert, it's going to be somewhere on the seaside, I would think.
Christchurch in Dorset.
Ah, Christchurch in
Dorset, yep.
You're a para swimmer that swam from Christchurch. I wonder if he's tuning in to see someone from his hometown.
It's not a part of the country I've managed to get to, that part of Dorset.
Travelled all over though, Robert, haven't you?
I've travelled a fair part of the UK, yeah, but not really had much opportunity to get down the southwest very much. I had my first holiday last year, just over a year ago, in the Land's End area.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, down in Cornwall. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But it's 10 hours, 11 hours driving, or you fly to Bristol and drive from there. But anyway, back to the action in the pool. George Whittle, Derby Excel. Well cleared in this one from Robert Burgess and Edward Bell. Edward regularly comes up and competes at the Scottish National Age Groups. I'm sure we'll see him back up in Aberdeen in a month's time as George takes that in 2:07.49, a pretty good time on a 2:08.83. I will give you the provisional finalists for that 50 butterfly that comes up tonight. Tessa Gill, Amy Halfist, Rebecca Guy, Georgina Pryor, Lucy Grieve, Ciara Slosson, Ellen Walsh, Lily Rose Berthold. B final, Jessica Calderbank, Alana Burns Atkin, Maddie Robertson, Ciara Morris, Macy Gifford, Becky Watson, Abigail Stamp, and Stella McCarty. That's unless someone goes a wee bit faster this afternoon. We've not had much of that over the first 2 days. I think we've had one swimmer who swam fast enough to get into a B final yesterday sometime, but it's a big ask with such very fast times in the faster heats.
The next heat of the 200 backstroke is in the water, about to start, and well, unfortunately we haven't got Oliver Morgan, who's been absolutely on fire here the last couple of days. He was due to swim in lane number 4. He has been sensational with meet records, Oliver Morgan, but we're not going to see him in this 200 backstroke. But we do have Theo Malfi from Vale France in 1, Lucas Dambrenner from Hobbit-Statens in 2, Niels Dijkzoorn from Team Netherlands in 3, Andrew Brodie, Edinburgh University in 5, Bryden Byrne from Swim Ireland in 6, William Ellis from Borough of Stockton in 7, and Kyle Mitchell from Geary in the outside lane. He goes in lane number 8. So good chance here for someone else to step up to take this heat, try and force their way into that super final later on. And it's Niels Dijkzoorn from Team Netherlands who is fastest as they go through the halfway point. Be good to see someone dip under the 2-minute point here, Robert. All the swimmers, with the exception of Morgan, who've not taken the start, it's just over the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, I don't see that happening though in this heat, Paul. I think it's very much a question of trying to swim a controlled race and get yourself into the final, and then have a go at getting under 2 minutes this evening. And Dijkzoorn, Dutchman in lane 3, just almost been touched out. He was and Bryn, Irishman, just sneaked into the lead over on that far side and gone about maybe half a metre clear. They're in 2:02.66. You'll know that maybe a second or two over that should be comfortably good enough to get them into the final. And it's not far off that, pretty close to his entry time. The same for Dijkzoorn, 2:03.22 and 2:04. I think that should be good enough, Paul, to get into the final you kind of fancy.
Yeah, you would think so. 2:04.00. 2 more heats to come, of course, and of course swimmers in those 2 heats and entry times, many of them are inside that 2:04 range, so you never know. But again, as we said, it's
we've not seen too many of them swim faster than their entry times in the heats. So yeah, Duncan Scott, David Cumberledge, Jack McMillan, Sean Newvolt, Thomas Piron, Shane Ryan, Jordan Cooley and Evan Bailey. They're the A final, the super final for 100 free this evening, potentially. With the B final, Joe Litchfield, Oliver Solgaard Anderson, Jamie Ingram, Vince van der Paal, Thomas Leggett, Casper Pugard, Nicholas Cuthella and Evan Jones. So, 38 Paul, we've got Angus Allison. Stirling University in 1, Thomas Janssen, Team Netherlands 2. In 3 we've got Neddy Irwin, National Centre Limerick, and 4 John Short, Swim Ireland. 5 Jordan McPhail, Edinburgh University. 6 Jamie Ferguson, University of Aberdeen Performance. 7 Callum Peebles, East Lothian Swim Team, and an empty lane in lane number 8. So one swimmer, John Short, 17-year-old from Ireland, who is the leader. 1:56.42. It's the field in the sort of lowish 2-minute mark range. So as you say, Paul, every opportunity for the vast majority to post an entry time and get themselves into the final on the day. It's what counts. At the moment, Short looks pretty good to get into that final. It's going to turn sub a minute at halfway. The rest are quite a fair way back here. Almost 1:01, so he's over 2 and a bit seconds clear of the rest of the field.
Yeah, it does look like he is the class of this third heat. John Short, 17-year-old. He's finalist at the European Juniors, just missed out in the medals. Just missed out in the medals here last year, finishing in 4th place, so he'll be looking to make amends, get in that top 3 position. 30.89 for that third 50, and he stretches his lead to something like 3.5 seconds. Second place is Thomas Janssen coming through strongly. Jordan McPhail in 3rd. Again, we saw that previous heat, one in 2:03.22 and 2:04.00 were the top 2 times.
Yeah,
but John Short coming through now. The meet record is 1:58.65 for Luke Greenbank, and he wasn't too far away from that. 2 minutes, 0.07 for John Short, and the other 2 coming in together, Jordan McPhail and Thomas Janssen, just by 1/100th of a second. I wonder if that is going to be vital. 2:05.54 and 2:05.55. So there is the result for that one, and well, 1/100th going to be the one that determines it. That puts him in what, 6th position there? No, 5th position. 5th position at the moment with 2:05.55. So got a little bit of breathing space maybe, but this last heat is going to be fast.
Ferguson a long way back on was it 2:06.82 or thereabouts in that heat. So I don't think he's going to trouble the judges for making the A final, but he should be pretty confident being in the B final. We'll give you the A and B provisional finalists for the 200 back for the female event. It's just gone. Yeah. So once this one is finished, we'll give you that update. Reese Blackett in 1 from the Newcastle Swim Team. 2, Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins. It's be interesting to see how Dean Fern swims this one. 3, Nicholas Costello, Hovenstatens. 4 is Brodie Williams, University of Bath. 5 is Brandon Bliss from Swim Ireland. 6, Jack Skerry, University of Bath. 7, Evan Gallimicon from League of Erne, and 8, Ethan Lawton from Derby Excel. Now, 5, 6 swimmers all sub 2:05. One being Brodie Williams, who's the only one under 2 minutes. You can see how smooth Brodie is in that first 50. 28:57. Already he and Jack Skerry have pulled away a little bit. And lane 2, Dean Fern, the halfway mark, turning in 3rd, 1:00.87. Dean Fern, 2:03.33 You can see how relaxed he is in lane number 2. I don't think he's going to trouble his own junior record, but he'll be keen to try and get into the A final if he can. Might have dropped into 4th place here. Brodie Williams just doing enough, I think, here, Paul. Doesn't really look to be trying too hard. 1:31.22. This looks significantly slower. Or maybe it's deceptive. It just looked deceptively slower.
He's the class of the field, definitely. Brodie Williams from University of Bath, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, and he is just easing this one back. Jack Skerry giving himself a chance of making that super final. 2:02.57. Brodie Williams will be there. Jack Skerry should be there as well, and Brandon Bliss. And I think 2:05 is going to be the cut-off point for that final.
Yeah.
I think all the 2:05s will be in, and just missing out, I think, will be Dean Fern in 2:06.74.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be good enough for that super final. Be good enough for the B.
Yeah, I suspect he'll probably be first in the B final. Well, there you are, first in the B final. You call that spot on. 2:05s were good enough. Dean Fern will have a middle lane for the B final with Jamie Ferguson. And Evan Galliot Michon from the Govern at the moment is just into the B final and no more.
So no Ollie Morgan as we saw, but John Short looked very good in that penultimate heat, and in that final heat Brodie Williams looked very relaxed. He's going to have much more to give. Brodie Williams, when we get to that final, should be a good contest certainly between John Short and Brodie Williams. Looks like it's going to be a good one in prospect for tonight.
Well, we'll look forward to that one. I don't think, as you say, there'll be much between them. Backstroke final could be a good one as well. Maddie Harris, Lottie Husper, Holly McGill, Katie Shanahan, Manon Dominion, Sophie Shaw, Kathleen Dawson, Falca Tind. Our B final provisionally is Carla Malharu, Niamh Ward, Olivia Butler, Ellen Walsh, Maria Gordon, Caitlin Ebbage, Molly Garrett, and Susie McNair at the moment is the one that's got to sweat and hope that nobody goes faster than 2:20.28. So we're on to breaststroke. Jessica Schultz goes in 1, Perry Scobie off nicely in 2, Stirling Swimmer. Stirling Swimming, and Ella McGeorge from Step Rock over in your neck of the woods again, Paul.
Yeah, up at St Andrews.
Yeah. Evie O'Halloran Hutchison, Dermot said doesn't go in 4. With Evie Mackey going well. Alanak Swimmer in lane 5. Nearly Large from Villafranche in 6, and 7 Erin Jones from the Newcastle swim team. I think it's the first swimmer from Step Rock making an appearance over the weekend. I've not noticed anybody the first 2 days from Step Rock.
Yeah, Ella McGeorge has had a couple of
she?
swims. Yeah, she had a couple of swims the last couple of days.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone else from Step Rock I can remember. As Massey goes over, Perry Scobie in 2nd there, and Ella McGeorge lying quite well in 3rd place.
Yeah, we did see it. The times are very difficult for a lot of the swimmers, Scottish-based swimmers, to get into. So some of the clubs might struggle to get much more than 1 or 2 swimmers. Lanark, I think I've maybe had a couple of swimmers taking part, and their hot swimmer is Evie Mackey going really nicely, the 15-year-old. She's pulled well clear now. Perry Scobie and Ella McGeorge pretty close together for 2nd place. Evie Mackey's looking pretty good though, Paul.
Yeah, it certainly is. Evie Mackey, one of 2 15-year-olds in this particular heat. Erin Jones being the other one right at the top in lane number 7, but Evie Mackey, a very kind of slight frame of Evie Mackey, but she's showing them the way home, that's for sure. Ella McGeorge coming back strongly in this last 50, the step rock swimmer. But it is going to be Evie Mackey who is just going to hold off that challenge. Good challenge it was for Ella McGeorge in the closing stages. Look at that. An improvement there for Ella McGeorge, or the difference between her and Evie Mackey, 1.3 seconds. That's what she closed up. But Evie Mackey had done the hard work in the middle of that race, and she took that one in that time of 2:44.84. Ella McGeorge in second, and Perry Scobie in third position. May Large just in fourth place. As we go on to the next heat, Tegan Black back in the water again. A tough schedule for her. Niamh Savoury into Niamh Connery goes in lane number 3. And Harrod Evans, what a couple of days that she has had. She goes in lane 4, Niamh Coyne in 5, Emer Doyle in 6, Lois Inch in 7, and Mai Rogers in lane number 8. Well, Tegan Black after that 1500 back in, so let's see what she can do in lane number 1. But all eyes will be on Harrod Evans, the new breaststroke sensation, who's had a great couple of days, hasn't she? Really almost taking that 100 breaststroke British record on day 1 of this competition, just missing out by 4 100ths of a second. Incredible swim on that day 1.
Someone that's impressed me in lane 3, Niamh Connery, which has been swimming at various events, especially IM. She was nowhere, then stormed through in that IM on breaststroke. Gave herself a fighting chance of winning the heat. I've been very impressed with what she's done in the pool on breaststroke. And, she'll be hoping that she might manage to get herself into the final. At the moment, and Harrod and Niamh virtually together, 1:13, 33 and 42 respectively. 2 Irish girls, Mia Doyle from National Centre Limerick and Niamh Connery from Swim Ireland. They're contesting third. And, it's now Niamh Connery just beginning to pull clear in third. Newcastle swimmer Niamh Savoury trying to make a late charge. At the turn, there's nothing in it. The question is, Paul, do they push it or do they just do enough? I think they'll just do enough.
Well, I think they're doing enough. The top 2, it's going to be pretty comfortable qualification for them. Niamh Coyne and Harrod Evans are side by side. They don't have to push it too much. Niamh Connery clear in third. That might be good enough for her, but she could just do with posting a decent time here just to make sure she makes it into that super final. Evans trying to come back in the closing stages, and she just gets the touch by 5 100ths of a second. Don't think it'll matter too much. Niamh Coyne and Harrod Evans should be in that super final later on, and Harrod Evans looking to continue that great run of form that she has had over the last couple of days, building in towards those Olympic trials, of course. So Evans in 1, Niamh Coyne in 2, Niamh Connery in 3, and we saw that Harrod Evans has had a couple of major head-to-heads over the last couple of days with the female swimmer in lane number 4, and that's Cara Hanlon. Cara Hanlon, Scottish record holder in the 100 breaststroke and in the 50 breaststroke. She's not a Scottish record holder in this one. That's a long-standing one held by Kirsty Balfour. Commonwealth Games silver medalist Kirsty Balfour, and she wonder if Cara Hanlon's got her sights set on that maybe at some time in the future. But anyway, the lineup for this one: Emily McGee for Dundee City Aquatic goes in lane number 1. Justine Brock from Thionville goes in 2. Alwyn Cook from Edinburgh University next to Cara Hanlon. They go in 3 and 4, Ellie McCartney in 5, Denisa Elena Gogu, City of Manchester Aquatic in 6, Katie Coventry Morpeth in 7, and Abby Whitfield, the young 16-year-old from Derwent side, impressed us very much in the 400 IM, coming from, I think, 7th after the backstroke to 1st after the breaststroke. So Abby Whitfield, watch out for the youngster in the top lane. She's against the seniors now though, and Cara Hanlon leads them through the halfway point, leading Swim Ireland's Ellie McCartney as they go through the 100 mark.
Roughly 2.5 seconds between the first 3.
Cara Hanlon's, one that has really come onto great form over the last couple of years. She's been around for a number of years now, Cara Hanlon, but just
like
really
ages.
made a burst, didn't she?
Indeed.
2 years ago, I think it was, in 2022, when she started breaking those long-standing Scottish records, and she's gone on to great success in the British events as well. She's the Bucks champion in this one, the reigning Bucks champion. She's been to the World Championships, Commonwealth Games, second place in the British Championships, where she swam that 2:25 time. She's her personal best, and Cara Hanlon is looking good as she builds in to those trials. Again, we were saying yesterday that 100 breaststroke when Howard Evans swam that sensational swim just outside the British record. It was a great swim as well from Cara Hanlon.
It was a great swim.
Finish second.
She finished like a train. She wasn't that far back. It looked all cut and dry with 25 to go, but Cara Hanlon dug in there and there wasn't much in it to the death. And well, that 240 from the previous heat, I think is very much not going to get them into the final. That's Niamh Connery. But you've got to bear in mind she's only 16, so up against some pretty effective swimmers there.
It's 4 under the 240 mark, and Cara Hanlon bang on the 230.
All these swimmers much older than sort of 16, 17, well experienced, so a real surprise they went sub 240. We now move on to our final heat. It's got a Kirkcaldy connection as well.
Oh yeah, Finn swimmer in this one, Erin Taylor.
Ellie Kennedy goes in 1, City Glasgow. 2, Erin Taylor from Finns. 3, Ailsa MacDonald, Edinburgh University. 4, Lily Booker, Loughborough Performance Centre. 5, Anna Morgan, Edinburgh University. 6, Eva Jones from Swim Ireland. 7, Eamon McLeod, City Glasgow. And 8, Esme Hall from the Borough of Stockton. So 2 middle lanes as you would expect, Lily Booker and Anna Morgan. Very prominent. British Summer Champion Lily Booker.
Yeah, another one who's probably got designs on what a place in the Olympic team. Lily Booker, 200 breaststroke will be the event that she's looking at, I would say.
Anna Morgan trying to stay with her. Those two have pulled well clear. That's the field a long way back. Ailsa MacDonald just vying for 3rd place with Erin Taylor. So halfway mark, 1:12.01, 1:12.80. Booker just trying to pull away now from Anna Morgan. Anna Morgan at the Scottish Open Championships. 7th at the British Championship, so she's sticking with Lily Booker pretty well.
Should be comfortable again with leading 2 swimmers with a big lead over the rest of the field, so these 2 should make it comfortably into that final. Again, they don't have to work too hard. That's Anna Morgan just trying to come back now a little bit on Lily Booker. But Booker looks like she has this one under control, looking very, very long stroke there, really stretching out at the front from Lily Booker. And she is going to come home in front here.
230 mark, yeah, just inside 230, 229.67. Anna Morgan 231.37. Elsa McDonald, I think, will be in the final if she's sub 240. Well, surprising how far back they actually were there, Paul. So that may be 240 time from the second of the heats. Might just be a second out with. I think everything 230 and below will be in the final. We'll get that confirmed in a wee moment. Well, there you are, 230 and below, 239 below.
Yeah.
Niamh Connery, the Irish 16-year-old, will be in the B final. And Evie Mackey, 15-year-old from Lanark, at the moment scrapes in as the final participant in the B final. And that's the remaining swimmers that took part. Some of them will be back for a junior final. Tegan Black is 24, so I think at the moment Tegan Black will be back for that one.
Another event to add to her schedule for today. And we move on to the 100 metres butterfly now. And we have some power swimmers in this one. We have Isaac Buchan, John Wood, Stephen Clegg, Conor Fitzgerald and Cameron Byrne-Coombe. Stephen Clegg in the middle is the world record holder in the S12 class, visually impaired swimmer, and he had a sensational swim in the 100 backstroke, dipping under the 1 minute for the 100 backstroke, Stephen Clegg, and he set a new British record for that. As I said, he's the world record holder for this one, 56.75. He's the world championship silver medalist last year. Let's see what he can do this morning. Stephen Clegg gone out 26.85 for Stephen in third place.
Well, it's going to give him half a chance. It's gone out very fast, Paul.
Well, we'll see what he can come back in. It'd be great to see if he can dip inside that world record mark, Stephen Clegg. Again, another one building towards the trials in London. And he will go in lane number 4, right in the centre lane here. Well, watch out, he is behind John Wood at the moment. John Wood will touch the wall first, and Stephen Clegg not going to be far away at all, is he? 57.96, so just about a second outside his own record mark. So nice swim this morning from Stephen Clegg at 57.96. John Wood had a good swim there to take first place in that heat, 56.54 for him. So he will be pleased with that one, an improvement on his entry time. So good start to this 100 butterfly.
Talked about swimmers coming from over the water. Isle of Man, Joe Watterson in 1. 2 was in Tabiti, Swim Ireland 2. 3, Tom Robertson, Edinburgh University. 4, Elijah's Nabiti from Holy Statons. 5 is Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins. 6, Chris Muir, Stirling University teammate Josh Press. And 7, 8, Lewis Maxwell from Derwent-side. Strong start in 1, Joe Watterson also up there in lane 4. And it's actually is Joe Watterson, 25.90. Dean Fern in 5 in second place. Tom Robertson in third. Tom Robertson in lane 3, finding a wee bit extra down the final stretch. That's, I think it's going to be Robertson who's got this one in 3. Very close for second. Robertson's got this one. Dean Fern maybe in second. Elijah's. No. Joe Watterson takes second. Tom Robertson 55.70. Fern 55.86. Takes second. 56.58. So 55.86 should be good enough, I think, for Dean Fern. Potentially to get into the final this evening.
Well, 3 more heats to come. Of course, we're into the seeded heats. We've got James Woodward, closest to us, Andrew Bertoli, Angel Esposito, Jamie Robertson, Evan Bailey, Tiago Gomez, Jack McMillan and Peter Allen. And in the centre lanes, it's maybe Jamie Robertson and Evan Bailey taking them out ahead. Also going well in lane number 7, Jack McMillan. And here's Jamie Robertson and Evan Bailey absolutely together, 25.53. Jack McMillan in 3rd position, Exposito in 4th, but the two in the centre lanes, Robertson and Bailey, are almost stroke for stroke here. They were absolutely tied at the halfway. What is it going to be at the finish? Coming back strongly in lane 3 as well as Exposito, but it is going to be lane 5, I think. Evan Bailey will be first in, 54.59. He opened up around about half a second advantage in the closing stages. Exposito in 2nd place, just ahead of Jamie Robertson. So low 55s?
Yeah, 55.54. 3rd place might be under threat. Brogan McAvaney from National Centre Limonite, 2 Salvador Gordo, Stirling University, 2 in 3 teammate Evan Jones, 4 Casper Pugard, Winstatons, 5 is Tom Bealey, University of Aberdeen Performance, 6 Joe Litchfield, Loughborough Performance Centre, 7 Callum Rose, Edinburgh University, and 8 Jens Christensen from St Gluven. A good start in lane number 4. We are going well already here, Paul. Also up then 6 Joe Litchfield, between them Tom Bealey. You kind of think that's where the action should be coming from. 4, 5 and 6. And Salvador Gordo also well there. Casper Pugard 25.30. Now Litchfield gets the work over in lane 6 at Commonwealth for a Performance Centre. Between them, Tom Bealey wants to make sure he's going to be in the final. It's on the touch. Casper just gets that 53.77, 53.92 for Litchfield. They'll be good for the final. And 54, 56 Bealey. I think that should be good.
That'll be good enough, I think,
yeah,
for Tom Bealey, yeah.
Evan Jones a long way further back. And our final heat.
Yeah, Duncan Scott back in the water again. Stefan Kravic in 1, Nikita Bias in 2, Killian Peck in 3, Jamie Ingram in 4, Duncan Scott 5, Gregor Swinney in 6, Brodie Gordon Gibson 7, and Ben Carr in 8. So 2 French swimmers in this one, 2 from Edinburgh University in the outside lanes. Jamie Ingram, City of Manchester Aquatic in that middle lane with that black cap of City of Manchester Aquatic. Duncan Scott, Stirling University, and Gregor Swinney from City of Glasgow in 5 and 6. And Duncan Scott got off to a great start. Swinney not really that well placed in the early stages here as they come up to the turn. Ingram looking pretty good in lane number 4. It's all very close. Killian Peck and Bias and Ingram and Scott, they're all together really. And who is going to take this one on the second? We saw 54 seconds, probably going to be the cut-off point to make it into that top 8, I would think. Duncan Scott trying to come back now. Ingram is pushing ahead. Also going well is Brodie Gordon Gibson up there in lane number 7. And also in lane number 3, Killian Peck. They're all together and Killian Peck just takes it 54.57. So the top 4 all in the 54 range. I think that's good enough, Robert. I think they might just all sneak in there, those top four.
yeah,
Brodie Gordon Gibson had a
will
good
be the
finish.
case. Yeah.
Here we are, and they are all in.
Yeah, Brodie just did enough to get there. Good swim from Brodie.
It was a good swim actually from Brodie coming back in the closing stages. 54.90 was his entry time. He's gone 54.79. He needed that to get into that final, so he delivered when it mattered there.
Dean Fern just missing out on the B final, but he'll be in the junior final. That now concludes all the swimmers' times for that last event. The Mail & Open 200 backstroke provisional finalists. As Paul mentioned earlier, we've got potential cracker John Short, Brodie Williams, Ryan Byrne, Neil Stixhorn, Jack Skerry, Brandon Bliss, John McPhail, Thomas Shanson. $100 for the girls, female, and it's Kat Price in lane 3, University of Bath. 4, Daniel Farrell, National Centre Limerick. 5, Nellie Kinch from Stirling University, and teammate in 6, Elena Morgan. Confirm the B final for that 200 back. It's Dean Fern, Jamie Ferguson, George Whittle, Lucas Tambremner, Angus Allison, Andrew Brodie, Chris Blackett, and Evan Galley-Mekong. Original reserves, Nicholas Castella and Robert Burgess.
Nice swim here from Daniel Farrell, who goes in lane number 4, entry time of 58.90. And in fact, it's Nellie Kinch actually who's leading them through. Apologies, Nellie. Nellie is going to be in there, 57.40, 58.93 it was her entry time. And she's improved that to a very good 57.40. Kat Price in second, just ahead of Daniel Farrell, with Elena Morgan in 4th. But a nice way to start there for Nellie Kinch.
Certainly was. Bailey Robertson in 1. Jessica Calderbanks, City, that's South Ayrshire, City Manchester Aquatics in 2. Anna Tyler's Derby Excel 3, Alexandra Bullock, and Liverpool Pentecoit 5, Catherine Renfrew Perth City 6, Emily Maxwell Derwent-side 7, Mary Mishenko, University of Aberdeen Performance, and 8, Josephine Klein, Stirling University. 57s and 58s in this one, and just maybe lane 5. Catherine Renfrew, 28.08. Josephine Klein, 28.31 and 28.36. Alexandra Bullock. And that's Alexandra now, who's coming through the challenge, but Catherine Renfrew still in lane 5. Looks pretty strong. Best swimmer. Looks good to take this one. A good swim from Catherine. Just holding off the late charge from Alexandra, and in lane 7. Lane 8, Josephine Klein just touches out Mira Mishenko for 3rd place. But a very good swim there from Catherine, 58.10 to take that. The 100 butterfly Mail & Open, the super final, Casper Pugac, Joe Litchfield, Tom Bealey, Killian Peck, Evan Bailey, Jamie Ingram, Duncan Scott, Brodie Gordon Gibson, and we'll give you the provisional B final in just a moment.
100 freestyle into the seeded heats. Emma Harvey taking the start this time, Laura Trumpet. So Emma Harvey, Bermuda, Laura Trumpet from League Auvergne, Jemima Hall, University of Bath, Abby Wood. A good swim yesterday in the 200. She goes in lane number 4. Tessa Gale from Feyenoord back in the water again. She goes in 5. Yara Kalmduk from Team Netherlands in 6. Lily Rose Bertolo, she goes in lane number 7. And Maisie Guilford from University of Bath in lane number 8. In fact, no one in 6. We do have the other 7 swimmers, and Abby Wood really going very well here. Great 200, and she was pushing the 200 as well yesterday. In the heat, she had a fast 200 swim. What's she going to go for this 100? Not hanging about in the heats. Abby Wood, 55.39 for Abby Wood, and that's very close to her entry time. So great swim there from Abby Wood. Emma Harvey from the outside lane takes 2nd place, and Jemima Hall in 3rd, but they're in the 56 point range. Abby Wood in the 55. So a few swimmers just kind of queued up there, Robert, all condensed in the 56 range, but Abby Wood making sure of that place in the super final, you would think.
The swimmer goes in 7, so we've Katie Goodburn in 1, Edinburgh University, 2, Georgina Pryor, Derby Excel, 3, Freya Colbert, Loughborough Performance Centre, 4, Milou Vick from Team Netherlands, 5, Eva Davis, Stirling University in 6, Jess Spinner, University of Bath, as we said, empty lane 7, and Angelina Roman from Team Netherlands in lane number 8. And at the turn, Milou Vick, 26.87. Still got the half a metre advantage. Evie Davis trying to get on terms in 5. Vick at the moment has all the answers as she's getting towards the final 5 metres. Vick is going to take that. Davis just holds on from Colbert to take 2nd. Colbert 3rd. And that result now confirmed, 55.53. Vick.
Yeah, you would think they'd be all in there, the top 3, 56.09.
You'd expect
a good
so,
target. Yeah, so we line in 4th place with just 1 heat to come with that 56.09. Freya Colbert. Here's the lineup for the final heat. Amy Monks, Elaine Bessard, Victoria Catterson, Lucy Hope, Maddie Harris, Anastasia Urbaniak, Amy Hallquist, and Lucy Grieve. I think we have all of the swimmers in this one. No, we don't. And lane 7 missing again. But we do have the other 7 swimmers, but we have to a very good start there in lane number 6. Anastasia Urbaniak and Lucy Hope also going well in lane number 4. Urbaniak and Hope with Maddie Harris in between. So Maddie Harris a little bit earlier on in that 200 backstroke, and that is the leading 3, 27.01. Again, 56.09 we saw from Freya Colbert. I think that's her in 4th position as we stand at the minute, so anything in the 55 range should be good enough, and even in the low 56s you might just sneak into that final. But coming through very strong now, Maddie Harris in lane number 5, just going ahead of Urbaniak, and it could be Mary Harris and Lucy Hope first to the wall, and Victoria Catterson coming through. So in the 56-second range there, not quite as fast as we thought it might be, but possibly, I think, Robert, top 3 will do that.
Yeah,
Urbaniak, is she going to sneak in, or is she just going to miss out? No, she will miss out. Look at that, Catterson sneaking in there, and Jemima Hall just missing by 5 100ths, and Urbaniak there down in 11th. Wow, didn't realise it was that condensed in the 56 range.
Yeah, no, again, no swim off lightly. That actually concludes. That's the final few swimmers. The male and open 100 metres butterfly provisional finalists are Casper Pugard, Joe Litchfield, Tom Bailey, Killian Peck, Evan Bailey, Jamie Ingram, Duncan Scott and Brodie Gordon Gibson. Provisional B final, Angel Exposito, Jamie Robertson, Evan Jones, Salvador Gordo, Andy Bertoli, Tom Robertson, Nikita Baez and James Woodward. Potential reserves, Dean Fern and Peter Allen.
So up in the distance now, Robert, 400 freestyle for the male and open. 4 heats in this 400. And we've got some swimmers who have swum just a short time ago in this one. We've got William Gowler from Borough of Stockton in lane number 1, Zach Slater from East Lothian in 2, Brodie Gordon-Gibson, Edinburgh University in 3, Josh Denham from Newcastle in 4, Scott Fleming in 5 from East Kilbride, Sean Donlan from Swim Ireland in 6, and Lucas Brenner from Hobbitstattens in lane number 7. So a pretty good swim there from Brodie Gordon-Gibson in the last heat of the 100 metres butterfly. He's back in again. Just the 5 heats of the 100 freestyle for women separating that 100 fly swim in the last heat and the 400 swim in the first heat for Brodie Gordon-Gibson. He's doing pretty well in the early stages here. He's well warmed up in lane number 3.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. He's the fastest coming into this heat, so he'll want to motor on as best he can. Swimming half a second faster than Brodie Gordon-Gibson and Scott Fleming. Or have they got something left to give in the final half of the race? At the moment, it's all pretty tight. Josh Denham, Brodie Gordon-Gibson and Scott Fleming. So halfway mark. The gap just under a second. Scott Fleming in pursuit.
We've got 2 seeded heats in this one, Robert. We've got the 2 timed heats, and then the fastest swimmers will come into the last 2 heats, heat 3 and 4. And we'll see some of the top performers here for this 400 freestyle. So the times for this one, just over the 4-minute mark. Can anyone push themselves towards these, closer to that 4 minutes? 4:04 for Josh Denham is the fastest entry time. Brodie Gordon-Gibson not too far behind. Scott Fleming as well. Scott Fleming probably the most likely to pose a challenge to Josh Denham in the middle. They'll come down to the 300 range. Maybe going to be outside the times that they have posted. 4:04 for Josh Denham, as I said. He's gone over there in 3:05, so probably unlikely to come back under the minute. So we're looking for something under the 4:10 range, maybe about 4:07, 4:08 at the minute. But Scott Fleming coming back strongly. Josh Denham in second position, right across there in lane 7. Lucas Brenner is doing well. 4:09.20 was the Hobbitstattens entry time, and he's lying in third at the minute, just ahead of Brodie Gordon-Gibson. As they come down the final stages of this one, like that's kind of switched about. Scott Fleming from East Kilbride, he's coming through and he's going to finish ahead of Josh Denham. Let's see what kind of time that Scott Fleming can register here. 4:05.30 was the entry time. He's had a good second half of this 400 and he finishes in 4:07.71. Josh Denham under the 4:10 mark and Brodie Gordon-Gibson just over that 4:10, but he did get up ahead of Lucas Brenner, who finishes in 4th. Well, a good finish there for Scott Fleming, Robert.
Certainly was. Didn't panic at all in that early stage, just gradually built and came through very nicely to take that by well over a second. Just a second or two over his entry time, but as I said, I don't think you should be too worried at that. Looks like we're an empty lane in lane number 2 in this one.
so the second of the heats. MS 400 freestyle, Isaac Dodds is there in 1, University of Bath. As we said, no one in 2. Carlos Alawi from Hobbitstaden's in 3. Henry Baker from Stirling University in 4. Dennis O'Brien from Ireland in 5. Yannick Veland and Merlin Belmont, Team Netherlands, they go in 6 and 7. Michael Flynn, City of Glasgow, in 8. Belmont is the one who has gone out to the best start. 27.38 in the first 50, and he's still holding that lead. Swimmers in the middle, Henry Baker and Dennis O'Brien. It does look like Belmont there with almost a second advantage as they go over in the early stages. Henry Baker just with that slight edge over the swimmer next to him. Dennis O'Brien looking good in the early stages. Malin Belmont from Team Netherlands, they had a big presence in the finals last night. Robert, 4 swimmers I think they had in the breaststroke final, that super final. So they've come with a strong team here.
Yeah, they've good representation and been performing at a pretty high level throughout the meet. And, we regularly get a good Dutch contingent coming over. Not maybe too many this year from the Scandinavian countries. There are a few over this year, but not as many as we usually get. And Belmont still going very efficiently over in lane 7, halfway, just under the 2-minute mark. Likely to finish pretty close to that time. Let's see if we can keep this strong pace going. 31.16. So I'd expect a split somewhere around 3:02.5.
Yes, swimmers inside not really made much of an inroads to the lead, and Belmont just maybe eking out a little bit of an advantage every 50 there. He's gone over in 31.38 for that previous 50. You can see Isaac Dodds is slightly faster, but everyone else is just dropping back on the leader.
Henry Baker picking up again in lane 4. They want to ensure that if he's going to do a slightly slower time, he finishes at least second. So that all being well assures them a place in the final. Merlin Belmont still going pretty strongly, 31.10. Baker and O'Brien in the middle lanes, a little bit between the two. That's where the race is, Paul, for second place. Henry Baker and Dennis O'Brien. That's going to be the finish order, second and third. At Belmont 4:03.59. I think that should be good enough to get into this evening's final.
Now 2 heats to come, 2 fast heats to come, so we will see what the performance is for that. Merlin Belmont 4:03.59. Some fast swimmers to come in these final 2 seeded heats, and there's the lineup for the first one. Oliver Sogard Anderson from Hobbitstaden's, Jack Munsey from Stirling University, and to Arthur Logan from Edinburgh University goes in lane 3. Kieran Bird, University of Bath, in lane number 4. Charlie Hutchison goes in lane number 5 for Loughborough Performance. Finn McGeever from National Centre in Limerick in 6. Tony Joe, Trent Oliver and George Smith in the outside lanes, 7 and 8, both from Stirling University. So We'll see what kind of times we can get posted there. We saw Merlin in that previous heat, Merlin Belmont, take kind of in the low 4 minutes, 4:03.59. So these swimmers well capable of dipping under the 4 minute mark. George Smith, the slowest of the entry times, and he is just bang on the 4 minutes, 4 minute .60. So everyone capable of getting under that 4 minute mark. Not the top performer in this one, well, likely to be Kieran Bird. Kieran Bird, medalist in the British Championships last year, silver medalist, just missed out in the medals last year at the Edinburgh International, finishing in 4th position. He's champion over short course as well. So Kieran Bird, again, experienced campaigner, and he goes in that middle lane, and he's making sure of that place in that super final. I think it's not very much in it for the minor places at the minute. Maybe lane number 5, Charlie Hutchison, just in 2nd position. George Smith going well on the outside lane, but all well on course to be well under that 4 minute mark. In fact, everyone under the 1:30 coming up to that turn. We'll see where they are at the halfway point. Kieran Bird now with a big advantage as he comes down to this bottom end. I wonder if he'll just take his foot off the gas in the second half. He's done a lot of good work in this first 200, that's for sure. 1:55.47 at the halfway point. George Smith still going really well in the outside lane, and Hutchison in 3rd place at that halfway mark.
Still looks pretty good, doesn't he, Paul? Kieran Bird, long way clear. Some 3 seconds virtually. George Smith over in lane 8, still going nicely. Charlie Hutchison just behind him in 3rd, with Jack Munsey trying to get also back into the mix with a late surge in lane 2.
Yeah, Kieran Bird is going well, isn't he?
He's certainly going out extremely strongly. He's going to take this one with 100 to go. Now he's got just over 3 seconds. Charlie Hutchison and George Smith get to work. Charlie Hutchison at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly dominating this one, Kieran Bird. He's been in the GB team. He's always an experienced internationalist. He knows what he's doing here, knows what he has to do to make that final. Certainly if he wins this heat, he's guaranteed that place in the final, that's for sure. Charlie Hutchison in 2nd is doing a good job coming up now, trying to secure his place. That final closing on Kieran Bird, but Kieran Bird's got this one under control. And on that outside lane, George Smith, as I said, he was the only one entered over the 4 minute mark in this heat. He's going to be slightly over 4 minutes, but not by much here as Kieran Bird gets into the wall. Charlie Hutchison in 2nd place, and George Smith again bang on the 4 minute mark. Jack Munsey in 4th has given himself a good chance of making that final with one more heat to come. So Kieran Bird and Charlie Hutchison, they should be secure with those times under the 4 minute mark. George Smith, a great swim from him in the outside lanes. And, well, is that going to be enough for Jack Munsey in 4th? I think George Smith kind of made himself favourite to get into that final.
I think so.
But again, very similar to the previous heat. We've got all the swimmers in this one with the exception of Jude Lydiard in the outside lane with entry times that are under 4 minutes. So, last heat on its way.
We have an empty lane in 2, so in 1. Cameron Travis, University of Aberdeen Performance. 3, Luke Hornsey, Edinburgh University. 4, Max Litchfield, Loughborough Performance Centre. 5, Luke Turley, University of Bath. 6, Jasper Bagshot, National Centre, Limerick. 7, Neil Vincent from League of Verne. and 8 Jude Lilliard, Edinburgh University.
Luke Hornsey, we saw him on, well, what was it, on day one when he did the great swims in the distance freestyle. I think it was a 1500 freestyle, was it? And then he came on and did the 200 freestyle very shortly after it and was very close to his personal best in that. So
he was, yeah.
Real kind of tough schedule for him, but he stepped up to it, didn't he? And now this 400, you would think with a good distance freestyle and a good 200 freestyle, this might suit him quite nicely.
Yeah, you would think so. Well, he probably would say that he's 15 and 800 are his 2 events that he's more likely to do something at.
Well,
he looks so relaxed in lane 3. Look, 126.35, 300s, 3/10ths back on Max Litchfield, who now just opens up about a body length advantage. And Litchfield either side of him. The 2 Lukes, Hornsey in 3, Turley in 5. Halfway mark. 155.74.
Litchfield did that excellent performance in the 400 IM at the World Championships, taking that silver medal, and he's kind of dominated that 400 IM yesterday. And great performer on the world stage, Max Litchfield. So he's looking to try and make it 400. Another good performance in a 400 event. So Litchfield looking good. Luke Turley in second now. Luke Hornsey dropping back very slightly into third position. Jeremy Bagshaw, the Canadian based in Ireland at the National Centre in Limerick. He's going well in lane number 6, and we saw kind of 4 swimmers stretching away in the previous heat, Robert, and looks like we've got 4 swimmers stretching away in this one.
Yeah, 255.35 for Litchfield, Turley and Hornsey. And, Hornsey under a wee bit pressure perhaps as Bagshaw just closes in on him. You want to ensure he gets third place in this. Don't want to be relying on the last heat being a slow one.
Yeah, I think these top 4 should be okay, I would think, for those places in that super final. Litchfield's dominated this one, and he is stretching away his entry time, 3:47.63, so he's some way outside of that, so we know he's capable of a lot faster. Good contest for second here. Litchfield secured his place in that final, that's for sure, and the other 3 will as well, as they're all under the 4-minute mark, and that was a little bit faster than the previous heat. So I think it will be 4 from this heat and 4 from the previous heat that will make up that final positions. And Max Litchfield dominated that one, 3:56. So he will come across the likes of Kieran Bird in that super final. And there we are, the top 2, Max Litchfield and Kieran Bird. Luke Turley in second position, Luke Hornsey, Charlie Hutchison, Jeremy Bagshaw, only 3:58. George Smith made it, and Jack Munsey as well. Dennis O'Brien sneaks in there for that B final. Scott Fleming, the one to miss out, Robert. Of course, number of juniors as well.
Yeah.
Will take the place on that junior final.
Of course, there could be 1 or 2 withdrawals with finals this evening. Some swimmers might not want to stay around for finals if they've got distance to go. So some of these reserves could be slotted into potentially A and B finals. So just give you the butterfly male and open finalists provisionally: Casper Pugard, Joe Litchfield, Tom Bealey, Killian Peck, Evan Wheely, Jamie Ingram, Duncan Scott, Brodie Gordon Gibson with the provisional B final. Angel Exposito, Jamie Robertson, Evan Jones, Salvador Gordo, Andrew Bertoli, Tom Robertson, Nikita Baez and James Woodward. It's IM now. This is our final event of the morning, and you have Poppy Maskell, S14 category, Manchester Performance in 2, Alice Forrest 3, Derwent Side 4, Gabby Freeman, Morpeth 5, Niamh Connery, Swim Ireland, and 6, Kiana Kurtza from Warner Basketball.
And it is Poppy Maskell who leads them through. One of the para swimmers take part in this international event, Edinburgh International. She represents Manchester Performance, and she had a great World Championships. Really emerged in 2022. She was the she got the award for the Emerging Swimmer of 2022. She had a great year that year, and last year she just built on that, the World Championship. She came back with a hatful of medals, bronze medal in this one in the IM. She was part of the relay teams that won gold and silver, and also a couple of silver in the individual events as well. So real all-rounder, Poppy Maskell. And she is lying in third at the minute. Gabby Freeman looks like she is leading them through. He's halfway into the breaststroke. She's been caught now by Alice Forrest in lane number 3, using that breaststroke to her advantage. Good tussle over on the far side, Niamh Connery and Kiana Kurtza. That familiar red cap of Warren de Baths. Niamh Connery, spoke about her a little bit earlier on, coming through very strongly on the breaststroke. But Alice Forrest also strong, 15-year-old, going into the final turn here. And she has that lead over Gabby Freeman, Niamh Connery, Kiana Kurtza. As in third and fourth, Maskell's dropped now to 5th position. All in a diagonal row as they come into the final few metres. Looks like Alice Forrest, the youngster in the field, is going to take this one. Entry time for Alice Forrest, 2:26.88. It's going to be just about on that, yeah, 2:26.30. Half a second improvement for her, ahead of Freeman, Connery and Kurtza. And Poppy Maskell just eases her way into the wall in 2:42.57. That's a nice second half of the race, Robert, for Alice Forrest. Gabby Freeman in second. And there's the lineup for heat number 2. Hannah O'Connor, Rose Ford, National Centre of Limerick, Maya Rogers from Warren de Baths, Evie O'Halloran Hutchison from Derwent Side.
No show.
No show in 3. Ellie Kennedy from City of Glasgow. In 4, Isabel Wood from Edinburgh University. In 5, Elizabeth Land from Newcastle. In 6, Tegan Black, back in the water again, and Male Large from Villefranche in lane number 8. It's a heavy morning for Tegan Black.
She's getting through at the pole. She's performed at a very high level in every swim that she's competed in, and she'll give a good account of herself. She's had probably at least half an hour to relax and get her breath back. Elizabeth Land, 31.50. On to backstroke. And 4 and 5. Isabel Wood coming through in 5 rather to challenge. And on the near side, Hannah O'Connor from the National Centre Limerick. Probably gone into 3rd place. Still the advantage as we were at the top end, but that advantage is a wee bit more substantial. Elizabeth doing a 35.69 versus a 37.37 for Isabel. So we've turned halfway, 1:07.19. You have a nice camera angle. Either not in shot, but you got Tegan Black there with the red cap the black cap rather, on the right hand side. And flying now is Ellie Kennedy on her favourite breaststroke part of the IM. So Ellie Kennedy from 6th on breaststroke, probably to 2nd, and also lane 1, Hannah O'Connor up there still within touching distance. Isabel Wood and even Tegan Black, don't discount her. She's got a strong finish, Tegan Black, and it looks as though it's Isabel Wood in 5, Tegan Black in 7. Oh, it's a tight one again, Paul. Tegan Black is trying the damnedest to get up, but she's not quite going to get there. Isabel Wood 2:29.21, Tegan Black 2:29.46, Hannah O'Connor 2:29.52. Well, I fancy Tegan Black will be back for another final in that this evening, Paul. We've still got 3 more to go, but given that we don't have a massive amount of juniors in those last 3 heats, Tegan will probably get another swim in the junior final. There are a total of 8 more swimmers. There are juniors to come in the last 3 heats.
Yeah, and it says into the seeded heats now, so we'll see the pace kind of ramp up a little bit. Sophie Main goes in lane number 1, Niamh Savory from Newcastle in 2, Silke Hulkenberg from Team Netherlands in 3, Ellen Walsh goes to Swim Island in lane number 4, Anna Droffelaar for Team Netherlands in 5, Lola Mallet from Dion in 6, Alana Burns-Atkin from Swim Ireland in 6, and Melissa Mainwaring in lane number 8, right at the top of the picture. A good start, as you would expect, by Ellen Walsh, silver medalist in that European under 23 championships. She's a world championship competitor for Ireland, just missing out on the final, finishing in 9th position. The Swim Ireland swimmer Ellen Walsh, she looks like she's in good shape here in lane number 4, dominating this one. Entry time of 2:10.92, which is well ahead of the others in this field, and that is how it is shaping up. Anna Droffelaar going well, the Netherlands swimmer in lane number 5, Silke Hulkenberg clear in 3rd in lane number 3. Got 2 more seeded heats to come after this one, Robert, so you know, 3rd place has got to try and get as much faster time as possible here, try and make it difficult for those 2 heats to follow.
Yeah, and these swimmers will want to go out as fast as they can to give them every chance, put a wee bit of pressure on the swimmers in the next 2 heats. Ellen Walsh is going pretty well though, Paul. Easing down, you can see that. She knows that she's done enough.
She's into the wall now in that time, 2:16.83 and 2:19.80 in 2nd place, and 2:21.72. Just wonder if that's going to be good enough. Are we looking at somewhere around about the 2:20 range to try and make it into that final tonight? Depends, of course, if we have any withdrawals from the lanes in the heats to come. Looks like we've got a full lineup for this next one to come, but Ellen Walsh confirmed as the winner of that heat, and there is the lineup for the next heat. Abby Wood back in the water again, another quick turnaround.
Has been pretty quick this morning for all these swimmers. Mia Mason, City of Manchester Aquatics in 1, 2 Rebecca Reid, Aberdeen, 3 Anna Farrow, University of Bath, 4 the aforementioned Abbey Wood, Loughborough Performance Centre, 5 Ella McCartney, Swim Ireland, 6 Ailsa MacDonald, back again at Edinburgh University as is her teammate Mary Craig, and Evie Mackey back again as well from Lanark. Well, quite a number of swimmers having a couple, some even 3 swims this morning, so it's very demanding, and if they can make finals for all of them, then excellent performances. But Abby Wood, 28.91, out very strongly indeed.
Yeah, this is one of the events that Abby Wood's kind of made her name on. So, real strong event for Abby Wood, finalist in the recent World Championships, finishing in 6th place.
I know how good her breaststroke will be, so she'll probably extend this advantage. You would expect, Paul. 103.76. She's 2.5 seconds clear.
She's been going quite hard in the heats, Abby Wood. We saw her swim a good 200 yesterday. We saw her swim a good fast 100 a little bit earlier on, and she's going pretty well here in this individual medley. Of course, when you get to those trials, when you get to those major championships, you've got to go fast in the morning.
You can't mess about. Sometimes gone are the days where you just go out and ease down, and find that 5 or 6 seconds slower will get you in the final, because it doesn't always work out that way.
We always say in the major events, there's always someone that gets caught out, someone trying to take it easy in the heats that misses out on the finals. But Abby Wood's certainly not doing that. Look at this.
It's
she is
actually
stretching
a very strong swim from her.
Oh, 2:11.86. Well, very good.
Pretty strong performance in a heat. Well, 2:19.86. Ellen McCartney, I think she's okay. And Anna Farah, 2:21.27.
That might be okay at the moment. It's lying in 6th place.
Yeah.
Well, 5th place, actually, I think. 2:11.
That's 5th place, yeah. 2:21.27. So I think you're 2:19 surmising to get in the final. Anything better than a 2:20, I think you're as good as in. But you can finish the events with your Kirkcaldy connection again, Paul.
Well, at the fence. I was looking for Kathleen Dawson there.
Well,
Kathleen Dawson swimming the 200 IM.
Yeah, but
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Well, Emily Maxwell goes in 1 from Derwent side. Chloe Harris, Edinburgh University, in 2. Susie McNair from Stirling in 3. Katie Shanahan in 4 from Stirling University. Freya Colbert from Loughborough Performance in 5. Grace Davison in 6 from Swim Ireland. Lara Thompson, Edinburgh University in 7. And Erin Taylor in lane 8 from Finns. Well, Freya Colbert, that world title in the 400 individual medley. She absolutely dominated the 400 IM yesterday. She was up against Katie Shanahan in that 400 IM final, and Katie Shanahan is in this heat as well. Shanahan in 4, Colbert in 5. They've been headed by Grace Davidson, who goes in lane number 6. And also Lara Thompson going well from Edinburgh University in lane 7. And also Chloe Harris as well, Edinburgh Uni in lane 2, right there in the mix. That is Davidson, Colbert in 2nd, and Shanahan just behind Chloe Harris.
Well, it's not particularly fast, Paul, at the halfway stage, but it might heat up with 4 or 5 there or thereabouts.
Well, Colbert, that great swim in the 400 individual medley, just showing her prowess over the half that distance in the 200, and she looked very, very good in the final. Of course, coming off the back of that World Championship win, of course, in Doha, leading into the trials. She's certainly one that's kind of maintained that form that she's shown a few weeks ago. And Colbert, Davison still in 2nd, and Katie Shanahan in 3rd place, but you would think that those 3 would be safe. As we had said, I think 221, high 221 is in 6th place. So the top 3 have got to be inside low 221. just to make sure a place in that final, and that is going to be within the capabilities of these three.
Are certainly in. All on the 2:19 or 2:20.76. Katie Shannon at 2:20.76 will be fine. Believe me, she will be fine, Paul, with that.
Yeah, she'll be in.
I think Lara Thompson 2:24.09 is way off the pace.
Yeah, top three should make it through. Freya Colbert looking good again, relaxed. Grace Davidson had a good swim for Ireland, and Katie Shanahan should have more to give in that final. Abby Wood will lead the way, sensational time in that penultimate heat. Ellen Walsh in second, and Colbert, Davidson, Droffalar, and Shanahan will make it into that final comfortably.
Yeah, Rebecca Reid just missing out on a B final. Chloe Harris scrapes in on 2:26, but you've got swimmers like Tegan Black once again. 24, she'll be back for another swim. I think Niamh Connery and 26th place will be back. Don't know about some of these swimmers further down, whether they're fast enough. That's the top 8.
Yeah, Anna Farrell just making it in there, but Abby Wood will be tough to beat, I think, in that final. You never know, though.
Well, that's it for the morning, Paul. It's been a good session. As you can see, we're back here for the afternoon at 12:25. So thanks for joining Paul Noble and myself, Robert Taylor. So from the Royal Commonwealth Pool in Edinburgh, we'll bid you farewell and hope to see you later on today.
Yeah, about an hour's time. So go and have
time.
a cup of tea, have a bit of lunch. We're back with us in an hour's time.
Thanks, everyone.
See you then.
Bye-bye.